Good morning. I know, it's been weird. It's weird I've had 3 days off. Have I had 3 days or 2 days? 2 days. 2 days off. I'm all out of kilter. And 2 days, right? And the difference, but last week when I picked up Hannah at the end of her lane, it was dark, right? Same time, it was light today. Lots of police around this morning. I wonder what was going on. Round a village. Well, I say that was a police car following me, right? And then a car came down the road on the same side of the road towards me. I thought, oh, the policeman will sort it. No, I had to work, what's that word? Swerve out the way. Anyway, less of my problems. Shall we have a look at the menu? Here we go. Coming up today with me, John Scott. Oh, now I've got some things to say about this menu. I was watching yesterday when it came up yesterday. 8 o'clock, John's Collection, that's me. And I've got fabrics, I've got bundles, I've got panels, I've got Quilt, your last chance on one quilt, and a fabulous sewing machine bundle. I'll tell you about that in a minute. 9 o'clock, we've got Tapered Trousers with Claire Louise. It's a show that you've all been asking for. So not only is it just, we're just not just making tapered trousers, we're going to show how to fit. We have a model and everything. Then at 10 o'clock, it's a continuation of the trousers. So the 9 o'clock trousers are tapered trousers. The 10 o'clock trousers are gorgeous, wide leg. I'll show you some pictures in a minute. Then 11 o'clock, I'm off to the Seaside. I wish I was, flipping heck. Got gorgeous fabrics, and I've got a brand new panel of bunting for Seaside bunting. Right, okay, I'm not going to show you anything for the 8 o'clock hour because you can see it all spread out around me at the moment. 9 o'clock, we've got these gorgeous trousers. I don't think the picture could be any further away if it tried. There we go. They are the gorgeous tapered trousers made out of Samba crepe. We've got lots of different coloured crepes for you in that hour. Then the next hour, we've got the wide leg trouser, which we've made it, well, CL's made it look, aren't they lovely? Now you can have them as a wide leg trouser or a wide leg trouser with that wrap over detail. Can be worn for the day or the evening. Got some lovely, we've got some linens, we've got some crepes, and we've got this beautiful, I haven't seen, is that fabric, is it new, that floral fabric? Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. And then, of course, at 11 o'clock, it's me. Just the 4 hours today. You're not being treated today, just the 4 hours today. We'd love you to get in touch. This is how you can do it. You can go to our website, www.sewingquarter.com. You click on Watch the Show Live. Now, you do have to log in at this point. If you've not logged in before, you do need to log in. Yeah, it doesn't cost you any money. All you need to do is log in your details, and you can scroll down the page. See, it says message to studio there. You can write a short message in there, keep it under 140 characters, and then because at your end you can keep typing as long as you like, but at my end it cuts you off. Scroll down the page a little bit further. You see products from today's show. They are products that Natasha had yesterday. Oh, now that paper doll's fabric looks different, doesn't it? It's nice, lovely. That was a lovely bib that Janice made yesterday. Anyway. So they'll all disappear in a second, and all the products and everything. Oh, gone. Now, in a minute, or normally it grows gradually, doesn't it? In a minute, all of the pieces that I bring you. So if you're watching later, want to see what's John had on today, you can go there, you can click and put it on your basket. Talk about putting your basket. Scroll to the top of the page. Look at that lovely peacock feather fabric they had on lawn yesterday. As I'm doing a live auction, what I'm showing you will appear in that square. You can click on it and pop it in your basket. Now, if you know you definitely want it, please check out straight away, only because we have so many sellouts at the moment, and I hate it when people miss out. You can check out as many times as you like during the day. You'll only pay 1 P&P of £2.95. That's the standard delivery. That's 4 to 6 working days. But you can check out hundreds of times if you want to. You'd still only pay 1 P&P. You can also email me, studio@sewingquarter.com. That's the only way to get your pictures in, or if you want to send a longer message. And I'll reiterate this later, but I know that when CL comes on to start her 2 hours of trouser fitting, there'll be hundreds of questions. A lot of them we might not have time to answer during the show, so we might, if you email them in, we can always answer them afterwards. Like I do try and catch up with all my emails all the time. Is that it? Oh, no, what do you get? Do you get a free gift? Is there a free gift? Oh, now, can we show that slide very quickly? If you're a new customer and you spend £10 or over on your first purchase, not including your post and packaging, you get 2 meters of randomly selected fabric with your first order. How brilliant is that? How brilliant is that? Right, now this first hour is, is everything that I've chosen for you. So there will be fabrics, there will be quilt, there will be panels, there will be Tulip pink scissors. Giggles? Who wrote that? I'm not in the giggling mood at all today. I'll tell you what, I have to tell you very, very quickly, though. Last night, just before I went to bed, I was reading the Facebook fan page, and there's a group of ladies who obviously don't like me working with Janice, right? And I just read it and thought, oh, well, you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, right? I've spent, oh, that's going to sound rude now, I've spent the whole night with Janice, right? We've made a cushion, we've made a dress, we've done a bib. In my dreams, this is, in my dreams. And then the alarm went off, and I thought, it can't be time to get up. And I've spent all night working with Janice. Anyway, my favourite sewing machine, I just love this sewing machine. It's fantastic, it's the Elna 680EX. It is a fantastic sewing machine. I'll go through it more with you later. It's the one that Lucy's got in her personal life, Joe's got in her personal life. All the experts love using this one and everything. I've got a special deal for you today. Now, the machine will always cost you the same price. But today, you know, every now and then we throw in a free gift, right? Well, today's free gift is this gorgeous bag to keep your rulers and everything like that in. You can keep other things in it as well. It's an omni-grid bag, very, very good if you go to classes and everything. Not only that, also this, which I love, this clip-on light. Look, LED light. Oh, it's on. It's bright. I'll switch off. On, off. Oh, it's got different, it's also got, different brightnesses. Look at this, so you get both of those. So if you buy the sewing machine today, now I've got a limited amount, but if you buy this sewing machine today, the sewing machine costs you the same price as it always costs you. Okay, here's the still. Always costs you £999. Today, the LED clip-on light and the Prim patchwork tool bag, all of those two together, £52.98. I know they write on the graphics there, saving £52.98. Think of it as a free gift from us. So you'd always pay $999 for the sewing machine. Always, always, always. That's the price of the sewing machine. But today, if you buy it today, you get free gifts of £52.98. Okay, here we go. The graphic's going to come in. There you go. So isn't that lovely? All of that. Yes, you pay. I'll go through the machine more later because you get lots of accessories. You get the extension table. You get so many pros to this sewing machine. I'll tell you all about that later. You even get your free walking foot and your buttonhole foot and everything else that comes with it. They do add up if you think how much they are. Anyway. So I'll come back to that in a second. I'll just put the light underneath there. And that I love. When we had to do the birthday show, and Natasha and I had to pick our 6 favourite items. This was one of mine, and that omni-grid bag was one of mine. So, and we hadn't had this light by then. Oh, switched off. I love that lamp. Well, it's brilliant because it clips to anything. Look. Anyway, I'll get on. Tula. Right, I'll start off with dressmaking shears, Tula dressmaking shears. Only because I did the show with her, didn't I? And we had the... Now, did we have these or not that day? I can't remember now. I don't think we had the scissors that day, did we? These are gorgeous. Look at this. Really, really, really fantastic quality. Tula pink. Look at the way they've been electromagnetically coloured, right? This is gold-plated. That screw and bolt and nut or whatever it's called, gold-plated. $49.99. They are beautiful, but not only. Now, can I just explain something to you? Tula doesn't do, you know, a lot of hairdressers or a lot of chefs go, it is the John Scott curling tongs or it is the John Scott wok or whatever. They just put their name to somebody else's thing. Not Tula. She had all her tools sent to her as prototypes. She had them altered to how she wanted them. So she and her brother, who she's business partner with, and her mum all had an input into these. They're 8 inches, really good quality, lovely, lovely scissors. They're very, look at the colours. And don't think of that, oh, it's just a gimmick, it's just a gimmick. They're very durable, they're very sharp, they do the job. They are fantastic, and they're a lovely weight as well. Really, really lovely. And look at the size of this. How often do you put your thumb through on these? You can own, brilliant. Brilliant. I don't know what they're actually called, those spaces to put your fingers and your thumbs through, but the whole, oh no, I wouldn't say that. £49.99 for 8-inch Tula pink fabric shears. Aren't they lovely? And the fact they've got her name engraved on the side. And you've got, her brother chose this colourway. Now, they all will be slightly different, obviously, because it depends on when they dip them into it. It is like oil and water, isn't it, together? $49.99. Fantastic. And they come in a lovely presentation box as well. Okay, let's put that one away. Next, duck build. Now, if you're doing a lot of work where you're reverse applique, or you're doing a lot of cutting off of seam allowance, graduating it down, these are a must. Again, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at the colours on them. These are the 6-inch micro-serrated duck bell applique scissors. Micro-serrated means, I'll just open it there, that these edges here where you cut have got mini, mini, mini micro-serration. So it's very, very good for getting a very crisp, clean cut there. Duck bill, look at the way they're balanced. So you can also, you can cut like this. This here is so that when you're cutting away, this bit protects your fabric, and obviously cutting here. This is blunt, this isn't sharp anywhere at all. That's obviously sharp inside where the blade is, but this is all blunt. So if you're doing reverse applique, or as I say, you're cutting down a seam, you can really, really, really get in close there. £28.99. And they're ergonomically designed properly. There you go. So you've got that shaping there, which means if they were flat, sometimes it's more difficult to get into that, especially reverse applique. But the fact you've got that shaping on them gives you that lovely depth to get into the fabric there. £28.99 again. Prototype sent to Tula for her to check, and she said things came backwards and forwards until she was perfectly happy with them. They're not heavy, they've got a lovely light feel to them, but you don't want them to be too heavy if you're going to be doing all that intricate stitching and everything, do you? So that's fantastic, that goes in there. Tula Nova. Now, I need to explain. Have we got a picture or not of this? Oh, we haven't got a picture of this one, okay. So what would you like to do first? The paper pieces first, right. I'm going to just take this out. Well, this bag's seen better days. You won't get this one, obviously. So this is the Tula Nova quilt. It's just stunning. I think we had it on the wall here. Didn't we have it on the wall? It's her own quilt. She brought it with her. Have a look at the fabrics in there, because I can see all sorts of fabrics there. I can see arrowheads. Beautiful. I mean, obviously, you can choose which fabrics you do it in. It would look amazing in All Stars, wouldn't it? Right. So to do that, what you need is you need a set of instructions. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I've got itchy eyes today. I hope my hay fever's not starting now. Look at this. Now, I'd photocopy this and I'd colour that in so you can work out which colours you want to go to where. But then look at all this, all the details of everything you need to do to build that said quilt top there. Obviously, you don't have to do it the same colourway that she's done it. You can do it your own colourway. But what you need is oh, I'm not going to tip these out. These paper piecing, English paper piecing, they're fantastic. These are laser cut, so they are precise to an nth degree. I can't tell you how many, look how many are in there. It's everything you need, everything you need. Have a quick look at the picture of that. There it is, finished. That was the one Hannah made, all pinned up. Oh, no, that's not the one Hannah made, actually. That looks like Hannah's pegs, that was all. She got giant pegs for her giant garden. $34.99. So you get all the paper pieces, you get all the instructions, everything you need to cut. Now, if you do look after them, you can reuse them, remember. After you've stitched them together and you take them out, you can reuse them. They are fantastic. Do we know how many pieces there are in there? Hang on. The finished quilt is 56 inches by 56 inches, so you can tell how much there is. It's a shame we haven't got it up there, isn't it, really? Oh, here you go. Oh, I've got to add all these up. 90 plus 65 is 155, plus 50 is 205, 235, 305, 405, 406, 416, 471 pieces. You get 471 pieces. Fantastic. It's a lot, it's a big project, but how exciting, how thrilling. Now, also, Tula brought this with her when we did her show. Very difficult to get in this country without having to import it in and everything like that. So if you are interested, $34.99. 34, have I got what? No, I was trying to put it in and then I thought you wanted me to take it out again. I'll leave it where it is. I'll just put it in like that. So, that's all your paper piecing. Then you're thinking, oh, what about the fabrics? So I'm going to buy the fabrics, cut the fabrics. Well, she's thought of that as well. If you want to cut all the exact pieces out, that's what I was going to do. Because these have the exact... Now, they look bright orange here. The bright orange peels off the back. It's just the backing to start with to tell you what they are. All of these here, the templates to cut your fabric out, all that you need. So if you don't... You see, what you could do is if you've bought this, you could place that, or you could make a template out of that, a piece of cardboard, something like that. But why? Because you then also have to work out your seam allowance. You see this here? All you got, oh, the wrong way up. Now, you see, it's all you got the seam allowance on. Already got the seam allowance on. Now, if you are going to do all stars, for example, you're thinking, well, I'd quite like to fussy cut. Have any of them been peeled so I don't redo it? Well, look, I don't know if I can do it now, whether you have to do it. The backing comes off. I don't want to do it. I don't really want to do it. Anyway, the backing comes off, so they're see-through. They're see-through. I'm sure there must be one. So you use it in conjunction. One of them must have had the back peeled off, mustn't it? I'm sure I watched it the other day. Not the other day. Anyway, the back peels off and they become completely clear. They're not this bright pink. They've got a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, not 1/4 of an inch, got a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, just that little bit more, just that smidge little bit more for those who just want to, because obviously then what happens is that obviously fits there. So you just fold your fabric over your template, you see, over your paper piecing. It is brilliant. And because you can use these over and over and over again. No, I'm not. I've cut my fingernails last night, you see. That's the problem. Anyway, so that's $34.99. And imagine, you could use this one. You don't have to just use it for that quilt. How many times do you need pieces like this? It's just, I mean, obviously it tells you to go with the pattern. That's piece F. That's piece D. But then once you get going, imagine if you want to start doing, if you made one and you want to make your own quilt up or anything, you can use all of these because they all fit together perfectly. They all make a beautiful fit. And they come in that lovely presentation box, so you're going to keep them nice and safe. You're not just going to suddenly find one of them in your drawer. Let's put that one away so it doesn't lose that one. There comes that lovely little box, you see. Tula. Okay, I've got one more Tula. I'll put that there. Oh, now, look, she drew this picture on the front. They wanted to take a picture, and she went, no, because pictures can show all my bits I don't like, so she drew a picture. When she launched this, they did a huge banner on the wall. Right, you might be thinking, Aurifil, fantastic thread, really, really beautiful, 100% cotton thread. And you know that Tulip always works with them. These are the 50 weights, but look at these. It is the only variegated set that she's done. She uses variegated a lot for her piecing, because obviously you don't see Tulip using one colour ever, do you? So you get 10 threads in there, all 50 weight. Are they all 200 metres, did we say? They're all 200 metres on each spool, $34.99. Yeah, and you can use them in your machine. Oh, obviously you can use it in the machine. It's 50 weight. You can use it in the machine if you want to. Of course you can. Of course you can. The only variegated one that she's done and that she said that she'll ever do. That's what she said live on air. No brown. You'll never find brown in a Tula. That's golden, I'd say. Bronze, maybe. Oh, no. Right. There are fewer than 10 of these. There are fewer than 10 of these. And I don't know if we'll get it back, will we? Unless Tula comes. We'll always have Aurifil, but I'm not sure if we'll get this specific variegated one back. Tula. It's lovely, isn't it? Do you know what? Do you know what? If any gentlemen are watching, or any ladies, what a lovely gift. Do you know what I mean? If you know they've got a birthday coming up or some special occasion later in the year, Rather than waiting till, say there's a birthday in August or September, rather than waiting, have them now so you know you've got them ready. Trouble is, I'm not very good like that. If I buy something for somebody for their birthday in August, I'll get it home and have to give it to them straight away. Then you have to get something else in August, don't you? And also, yeah, exactly. If you're paying all that money for the fabric, the Tudor fabric, you have to use them just on Tudor. But you see, when I trained, we used nothing but cotton thread. We didn't use polyester thread at all. I know a lot's changed. I know polyester thread is now much, much, much better than it was then. Never, ever used anything but cotton thread in those days. Makes me sound ancient. Well, I am. Yeah, don't forget this lovely bundle. Right, I'll leave everything here, and I'm going over to set one now. You see this lovely Jane Alcock's coming in to do this on, I think it's Wednesday, isn't it? She's in on Wednesday, so. Oh, yes, it's Jane Alcock, and it must be Natasha and Paul, mustn't it? It's in one of the magazines. It's on the front cover of one of the magazines, isn't it? It's lovely. Anyway, not to about other people's shows, talk about my own show. Right, when I was in the other day, and I kept saying to you, I've got that colour wheel on Monday, I've got that colour wheel on Monday. Well, it's Monday, and I've got that colour wheel now. You do make a saving of over £5, was it over £5? Over £5, was it? Christopher can't remember, he's just got so much money he doesn't understand. Now, this is £73.99. I know you're thinking considered purchase, but shall we go, oh, excuse me, shall I just keep looking at that? Or you can go to still, I'm just going to tell you what we've got. Do you know what I've forgotten to do today? I'll just remember them off by heart. Cameo, cream, heron grey, Riviera blue, sunshine, true red, biscuit, bright red, bright yellow, cornflower blue, slate teal, bright red, another teal, marine, steel grey, stone, and sunshine. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spot-ons, 6 spot-ons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 spectrums, and the rest are linear print. Aren't they lovely? They're all McCall. I'm going to bring them into shot then. Oh, Chris spent ages putting them into this wheel earlier. There we go, there we go. What I could do with like a plate to go in the middle just to cover the raw edges, couldn't I? Oh, do you know what he's done as well? Oh, look, he's put all the spot-ons together, all the spectrum solids together, and then all the linear prints together. Now, at home, I don't think, because I was watching Natasha today and she had vanilla linear print, and I couldn't see the linear print at home. I'm not watching on HD, I'm just watching on normal telly, but how gorgeous. You get ½ a metre, so that's 9 metres in total, ½ a metre of each of these. So, spot on, there we are, the red, the yellow, the grey, the sand, the teal, and the blue. Then you've got your spectrum solids around there, the yellows, the greens, the reds, the blues, the stone. Oh, no, hang on, what colour was that one there? I'm not sure what colour that one is. Biscuit, thank you, Chris. No, I've got them on the screen. I didn't really remember all of them. And then you've got Heron and Riviera. They're lovely, aren't they? Absolutely gorgeous, £73.10. Now, for some reason, it's not telling you what you're saving on the graphics. Normally on the graphics, that's what it's saying. No. Over £5 you're saving. Over £5 you're saving. So if you were to ring up or go on the website and order ½ a metre of each of these, it would cost you over £5 more. Look after the pennies, the pounds look after themselves. This is called the Texture Vintage colour wheels. Right. ½ a metre of each, looks like. This. 44 inches wide. It's the equivalent of 2 fat quarters, isn't it? 44 inches wide, machine washable. They say 30 degrees, but I always do my cottons at 40 degrees. It's lovely, isn't it? I'm a bit of a daredevil like that. Lynn, hello, John. Hope you had a nice weekend off. Those duck-billed scissors are great, says Lynn in Taunton. Yes, indeed, they are. I had a lovely weekend off, but it goes so quickly because you end up doing chores, don't you? I mowed the lawn. I finished off power washing the patios. I did all of them and the path down the side. What else did I do? I went to Leamington Spa. Oh, vets. I went to the vets with Norman. Went to Utoxeter. Hello, ladies. I saw lots of ladies in Utoxeter. And I didn't realise. I knew Jane Alcock was going to be there. I didn't know Amanda was going to be there. And Tilly Rose Vintage was there. And Angie was there. I know, it was fantastic. Rosie was there. Aren't they lovely, those? I've done something wrong there, haven't I? I don't know what I've done. No, I'm very fine, hang on. Chris is watching me with the eagle eyes. There you go. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. None of you really... Yesterday, Natasha had the kind of bright rainbow colours, but this is gorgeous. This isn't your... Oh, and also, Lorraine says you use the Tulip ink cutters. They are an investment like the scissors, but can't say enough about them. Never use any other once you've used them. That's from Crazy Lorraine. Thank you, Lorraine. If you do like rainbow, I've got something coming up for you as well in a minute, but this colour wheel is beautiful, isn't it? Would you use them all together? Would you use them as stash? Would you keep them as separates? Oh, okay. Hannah's just shouting stash. Stash, John, stash. You see, the thing is, right, I could do this, right? You could keep all your spot-ons together, all your spectrums together. Biscuit, great. I love the linear. That's the heron. The red, the Riviera, I can never say it properly. Beautiful. Right, okay. So you could keep it if you wanted to, like that, with your spectrums together in the middle, your linears together there, or your spot-ons like that. But then what you could do is if you're doing a theme, you do blue, blue, blue. Oh, they look gorgeous together, don't they? You could kind of do this, couldn't you? So there's another colour selection there. And if you do your reds and your yellows here, reds and yellows here. Hello, Julie. The weekends just aren't the same without you. Don't worry, Julie. I don't think I've got another weekend off. So it's... Having said that, I'm not in for the next 3 days. It's very odd. Anyway, look, 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 look. Yes, you got, look. You see, look, then you could do that with the same bundle, but look. So you got this one, which is very earthy, very stony. Then you've got this one up here, which is fire and hot. Pts. Oh, you missed that. 70, oh, look at those. And then if you like this one here, this could be the view out of... Oh, we haven't asked Hannah about the view out of our window for a while, have we? Have you found out yet? No. You've only had all that time off. Oh, and for those of you who are asking, yes, Hannah was meant to be at Utoxeter with me. She feels very bad about it, right? So in the morning, you know all that hassle she's had with her dishwasher and everything. Well, in the morning, she said, oh, my dad's coming to fix it. Didn't say when or anything like that, right? And her dad's called Kelvin, right? Not that, I don't know what that's got to do with the story, but anyway, so I said, shall we go to Utoxeter? This is on Friday afternoon. Shall we go to your... Oh, she said, I just have to have some lunch. I said, OK, then that's fine. Oh, I just have to have a meeting with Hayley. I said, that's fine. Oh, I've just got to go and do the computers. So we're sitting down, I'm thinking, you know, it's Friday afternoon, right? So we're just getting, we're ready to go, right? And I've got my coat on, got my everything ready. And then she's faffing about doing something in the other room. And then she comes through and then her phone beeps. And she was like, oh... And I said, what's the matter? She said, I've just had a message from Karen, her flatmate. Kelvin's arrived, right, to fit her dishwasher. I said, oh, has he just turned up unexpectedly? She went, no, it was planned. So she knew all along, right, that Kelvin, the dad, was coming to fix the dishwasher. Anyway, it's fine. She wouldn't have been able to cope with all the floods that had to drive through. Oh, I love this. I love this as a bundle. Look. Sorry, I'm going on and on, but look at that as a bundle. Isn't that gorgeous? I will. Now, they're all vintage colours. They call those the vintage colours, right? If you love rainbow, I just need to reach over here. If you love rainbow, now, I'll just show you. Is this the quilt? Yes, it is. Right, Lucy did this quilt, didn't she? Was it Lucy? Originally from the magazine, but then Lucy did a show all about this quilt, and we all said how much we loved it, and you all loved it. And I mean, it is beautiful, isn't it? Right? And I said, because Hannah loves this, because she loves white background quilts, right? I said, oh, I'd like a dark background. So they only went to put a bundle together for me. So you could create this, but with the dark blue background. So look. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So you get 4 meters of the navy, which is for your background. It's everything to do the front of your quilt. And the binding as well. Was it a scrappy binding, was it? Oh. I'm creating a nightmare. I love this. Love this bundle. What's the matter? Oh, yes. Well, in your day, it was Art Attack. In my day, it was Vision On. Where you started a picture and you didn't know what it was going to be. And when it's finished, it's like a kangaroo. Something like that. Look. This obviously isn't the finished quilt. This is just me showing you the different colourways. Look. Love the dark blue. There we go. There you go. Oh, aren't they gorgeous? So you get was it 4 meters, this one, did you say? Yeah, 4 meters of the dark blue, and then 5 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, half a meter of 10 other fabrics. Oh, and most importantly, the instructions. 62.99. Now, it's Susan Standon's original design. Susan is a contributor to Love Patchwork and Quilting magazine. Oh, no, I didn't ask her. I didn't ask if she minded. Finish size 60 by 80. Oh, I just think it's gorgeous. I think it's absolutely stunning. Right, I better push it all away now. I just think, you know, like, of those of you who collect jewellery, you know how a black opal, the colours on a black opal always pop out, on a good black opal, always pop out more, don't they, than they do on a white opal or a jelly opal or a Wellow opal. And I think that's because the background is dark and the gorgeous colours can all pop out. And I think the same with this. I just think it's beautiful. I remember when Jane did her trip around the world. Used to be in here, didn't it? It's gone now. That had a navy blue background. Do you remember how the colours... I mean, you don't have to do the rainbow quilt in this if you don't want to, but I just think these are gorgeous. You could do a trip around the world with those, couldn't you? So you're getting a total of 9 meters of fabric, plus the instructions. Oh, I love it. There's something about rainbows, though, isn't there? There's just beautiful, look. Plus the instructions. £62.99. Right, now this. And we got a picture of it. This sold out the other day. This sold out. I sold this out the other day. There were none left, because what I need to tell you is we had the fabrics for this cut specially for this pattern. So we know that it will never be repeated. Right, and the last 6 were on. Was it last? No, not the last 6. I sold them all, and we went 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 at the end of the show. There it all is. It's beautiful. It's made from 2 blocks, which then create that 3rd block. Angie came in and did it with me, didn't she? All foundation paper piecing. Right now. They said to me, oh, there's one available. And I said, oh, but all 6 people checked out. Yeah, I keep saying 6. It was because I remember in the last few minutes, we went 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can't remember how many there were. All the people had checked out. They said, yes, but there's this one here that's still kept in it. It's gorgeous. When it arrives in this great big cardboard box. All the fabrics all beautifully laid out in the cardboard box. So this is the one that we've had here. This is my one that I've had here available. This is it. This is the last one. I can tell you, I've only got one, and this is it. You get everything you need. You get your backing, your binding, your wadding, all your fabrics that you need to create it. Look, isn't it just incredible? So you get all of this fabric, how much? 15 meters of fabric, plus the wadding, plus the thread, plus the instructions, plus the templates, look, to create your foundation paper piecing. It's just brilliant. Now, there's only one. There's only one available, and this is it. Now, when you get it, you'll know that I've stroked it. It's lovely, isn't it? Really, really gorgeous. Here we go. This is everything you get in there. But I've only got the one. I've only got the one. Obviously, these are all, I think it's fat quarters then, all these things. So these are all fat quarters at the front here. Plus, obviously, bigger pieces. So it'll tell you, one will be for your binding. Well, I've actually got it here. Let's have a look. Oh, no. Right, okay. There's only one. There's only one. Putting it in your basket doesn't guarantee it, right? More people now put it in their basket, and I've only got one. So if you know you definitely want it, you need to check out. And I hate to sound like I'm pushing you, but I promise you I'm not pushing you. We're not going to guess it again. This is it. This is it. This is it. We're never doing it again. Right, we'll have to close that auction because so many people have put it in their baskets. But until one of you checks out, be careful, because until one of you checks out, right, it's not yours until you've checked out. So if, say there are 10 people got it in their basket, when the first person checks out, they'll get it. Then when the other 9 people come to check out, it'll be like, sorry, sold out. Morning, John. Oh, it's gone. It's gone, it's gone, it's gone. Morning, John. A few weeks ago, you sang the Rainbow Tour from the fantastic musical Evita. I've had it in my mind ever since. It won't go away. Oh, Norma, I am sorry. But next week, I'm going to see Wicked. Because I've just been to see Evita, hadn't I, with my friend Bonnie last month. This month, I'm going to go and see Wicked with her. Oh, I've got 3 panels I've got to do yet, and then I'll go over to the other side. No, I'm not going over to the other side. Not now, not today. Oh, that sounded wrong, didn't it? Let's hear it for the Rainbow Tour. It's been an incredible success. We weren't quite sure. We had a few doubts. Would Evita win through? But the answer was yes. Right, which one first? They're all looking at me like I'm completely crazy now. Which one, my love? Now, let me just check that Chris... This is the most limited. Now, this is a panel. This is a panel. I know it looks like fabric, but it is a panel. Oh, yes, it's the one they've cut properly. There you go. Well, no, only because when the first one arrived, I don't think the person in the warehouse realised it was a panel, and they cut all the birds in half. They cut it like here. But now, you see, that's the panel you'll get. Isn't it lovely? Fewer than 20 of these. It's called Flock. It's beautiful as the centre of a quilt. I think it's gorgeous. Love that midnight blue background. It's by Beth and Janine for Dashwood Studios. It's lovely, isn't it? You see, the thing is, right, I'm just looking, you see. Now, maybe if you bought the rainbow quilt bundle, how gorgeous would that... OK, you couldn't make the rainbow quilt out of it, because this would have to be your set. But imagine if you wanted to... Can I just bring it in? Sorry, look. Oh, look. What's the matter? It was all going horribly well. Look. Oh, look. Imagine what you could create. This block, this is $7.49. This is $62.99. But that is enough to make that quilt, the front of that quilt there. But say you didn't want to make that quilt there, you've got the instructions for something else. Imagine, because then you'd have enough for your backing. OK, half the stock of these have gone already. Half the stock of these panels have gone already, just to warn you. Imagine if you bought that and that together. If you use this as your centre, and then you built your colours going round the edge. I'll just move that one out now. Love it. Oh, do you know what would also look lovely with it? The colour wheel would look lovely with it as well, wouldn't it? Yep. OK, the panel's all going to go. The panel is going to go. I've got 2 other panels here for you. Was that a request for another song? Song from Cats? No. OK, no requests. Now, whenever we get this panel, we've had to reorder it so many times. This one and the next one. They just fly out. The McCall, the Pussycat Quilt. It's just called Kitty Panel, actually. Just called the Kitty Panel. Well, no, we made, no, because we had a quilt made out of it at the beginning, if you remember. And then it suddenly disappeared, and we were like, where's it gone, where's it gone? Then we went to, the Sewing for Pleasure, and there was our quilt hanging on the stand, on the McCall stand, wasn't it? Yeah, we spent all morning thinking we'd lost it. Keep going, because you missed out Hannah's 2 favourites. There they are. Oh, Hannah's craving for love in her life. So the one, so the one with the fish, Ginger Mike thinks is a boy. The one with the mouse and the chicken is a boy. The one with the present is a girl. And then you've obviously got the 2 falling in love at the bottom there. And then, of course, you've got the one with the washing line at the bottom there. That one's a boy, yeah, we think. And then this one's a girl. Oh, so that's that one there, look. That's her there. Oh, she's got different cheeks outside the house. Oh, no, it isn't. I tell a fib. She's got a spotty chest, and that one's got a wavy chest. Different cat completely. There's the one from the bottom. There's the one. Look, there it is. There's the one from the bottom. With the pink cheeks and the spotty chest. Oh, so where's the pink one with the wavy chest? She's just there all on her own. That's Hannah. Aren't they lovely? I love the fact that, oh, there they are. You definitely brighten the darkest of wet, rainy days. Hilarious, love the singing. Are you auditioning for a musical? Is that Sheila? It just says Mrs., so we don't know who it is. Thank you. I'd love to be in a musical. Oh, I'd love to. I'd want to be, at the moment, I want to be in The Greatest Showman, because I know all the words. Oh. But we'd all have to come and stay at yours then. At Hannah's local cinema, they're doing The Greatest Showman. Is it the sing-along one or just the sit-and-watch one? Unlimited Prosecco. How much are the tickets? About £100. Oh, how much it costs to go to our cinema anyway. Gorgeous. £5.99 the kitty panel. And then I've got one more panel to show you. Very quickly, because look at this. Oh, look at the time. See, I'll be here in a minute. Right, Fruity Friends. If that kitty panel is Hannah, this one must be me then, mustn't it? No, we know this one's Hannah because she loves cactuses. People think she's a bit of a pineapple. Well, no, they do, don't. That's how they describe you, isn't it, in the office? They go, you know, Hannah, the one that looks like a pineapple. So she loves cactuses there. This is Hannah chilling. This is Hannah doing her homework. Not that she has to do homework. This is Hannah and her flatmate Karen. Karen, who can eat as much as she likes, but not Hannah. And then this one here, cool dude Hannah. Yeah, that's Hannah when she's let her hair out. Brilliant. Right, I've got to get on, Let me just fold that for Christopher, otherwise he'll be in a bad mood. Or I should say, more of a bad mood. Machine. Now, this machine will always cost you £999. Always, 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 always. But today I've got a special deal going on. If you buy it today, you'll still pay £999, but you get this gorgeous bag. You obviously don't get any of the accessories that are in there or any of the rulers that are in there, just the bag, right? And you get this lovely light here. It's on, it's on. Look. Different brightnesses. Now, what it is you need to charge it up. You can plug it in, but the plug it's got on it, this is what confused me. Christopher's stolen the wire. It's got one of those wires that you plug into your USB charger, as if you didn't know that. Thank you. This is the you don't get a plug on it, you get this. So you can either put this into the end of the bit that you put in your iPad, or you can put that into your computer, and it charges it up, you see, and then you've got a little switch on the side there, which is the main switch on and off. And then on the front here, you've got a little button. You see? It's got I said that, 3 levels of brightness. Look, hang on. Doesn't get hot 'cause it's off. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't get hot because it's off. It's LED. But this is what's brilliant. Now, I'm in the wrong place for this, really. Look, watch. Oh, can you see it? I'll bring it one down one. Well, no, because you can twist this whichever way you want, you see. See, look. So if you've got a shelf above you where you're working, where you're reading, put it on your bed head. There's the clip there. Right? Or you could imagine put it on your bed head. And then you could read in bed, can't you, like that? Have you not got a bed head? Have you not got a bed head, Hannah? The bit at the end of your bed that goes against the wall, that's a bed head, right? And then you can clip this to your headboard, right? And then read in bed if you wanted to. Anyway, they're busy discussing how Hannah goes to bed with her hair now, so that's Ginger Mike for you. Anyway, so that's what you get. They're all the goodies you get. How much are they worth? £52.98. £52.98. Let's just go through the machine, shall we? So this, brilliant. This automatically comes with an extension table. That doesn't it? Love the extension. So if you're doing quilting or this, what's this called? Free motion. That's brilliant for that. You also get this lovely cover. So while it's in, I'm going to sneeze. Then we've got this, it's got a pocket in the side there, so if you're keeping it covered, keep all the dust off it. It's fantastic, fantastic, fantastic cover. That's not, oh, look at this. Look at all the stitches it does, right? Let me open the top of this, right? Look at all of these decorative stitches it does. It does 3 alphabets. It does a 9mm width, which you can't, most sewing machines are 7mm width. It makes an awful lot of difference. Look at all the buttonholes, right? Here. Does all those different buttonholes, and you get the buttonhole foot. This incredible, I mean, you get loads of feet with it. You get the walking foot for free as well. Free motion foot. Oh, now if you think all of those add up, don't they? All of those do add up. It's just such a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant machine. I love it, love it, love it. £999. As I say, since Lucy and Joe both started working here, they've both bought one of these. And all our experts love it as well. Oh, that's the most important thing. Well, not most, one of the most important. Knee lift. A knee lift is fantastic. Now, if you don't know what a knee lift is, you see, oh, you can see it on the still there. There's a little, here, right? What you do is you put your knee lift into it. If you're doing a great big quilt, for example, and you can't release your hands, you put this into the side of the machine, and then every time you want to lift the presser foot, you just push that with your knee, and it lifts the presser foot up. A lot of industrial machines have that. My Singer Industrial used to have that. It is our most popular machine, this. It is absolutely fantastic. You get a guarantee through Elna. You also have a direct line to Elna. No, that's wrong. Direct line. You don't have a direct line. You have a number that goes through to Elna, and you can ring them with any problems, any issues you've got. Every time I've rung through to Elna, I found them to be absolutely brilliant. And also, remember, if you bought this and say something else, you only pay £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. Just to warn you, though, anything like if you buy this bundle of this, the bag and the light will come from us, and the machine will come directly from Elna. So just so you know, you'll get 2 deliveries. You get a little message saying your sewing machine is on its way from Elna, but there will be 2 completely different deliveries. Okay? Got to go back. I've got a few tools I need to show you very quickly. Oh, but where to start? Okay, it's a headboard, not a bed head, where I come from. Oh, no, bed head's your hair, isn't it? Of course it is. How would he know? He would have never put a bit of gel in his hair ever, has he? Bed head, it's a famous gel to put in your hair to make it look like this. I haven't got any into this. Mine's just natural. Mine's natural. Needs cutting, doesn't it? I left it because everyone kept saying, oh, you look so much better with long hair. It's much greyer when it's long. Oh. Hannah's not back in my good books yet, and yet she's going, who would say that? It's fine. You're walking home. Yeah, exactly. That's trouble with you, isn't it? Right. Am I doing this first? This feels different. Yeah, just please be quiet, Hannah. Thank you. This is what you get for £7.99. You get these 3. They're 3 tubes. Shows they're listening in the office, though, doesn't it? If they're messaging through to say I'm wrong. I'm surprised that. Yeah, it's only because he sits under the telly. You get all 3 of these. 3 tubes, a fat one, a thin one, and a medium one. 3 pushy through things, 2 wood, 1 metal. What you can do is, now this is the right way round, so whoever had this last didn't leave it prepped for me. Say you've got a ruler that you need to turn through, right? And you know, sometimes when you're like this, like Jo Carter can do it, she's got little nimble fingers, hasn't she? But I can't with my big fat sausage fingers. You need to turn it through. Obviously, this is the right way round already. Right, okay, so you put the tube straight down until it hits the bottom, right? Then you get your pushy turny through thing, and you push that through there. Why is it the wrong place? There you go. Turn through. See, now we're down. That's how you'd start with it, you see, inside out. So I'll do it again. So you've just sewn up your seams on your rouleau, and then you push this through. Obviously, this is the thicker version. If you were doing like rouleaus for wedding dresses or something like that, you'd use the narrow one like that. Then you get the pushy turny through thing. All 3 come in the packet. There you go. It's as easy as that. There you could also use your stick to stare at the knob of the points out, couldn't you? Yes, it is, John. Just turn you on and I feel better. Oh, it's Sheila. Thank you, Sheila, my love. Oh, June, you're a silver fox, John. Lovely to have you back. Lots of love, June. Do you know what? I had a bit of a funny day yesterday. I think there's something about to happen in my life. You know when you've got the feeling that the universe is about to send you your next thing. I'm ready for it, but I don't know what it is. But I was feeling a little bit like, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Because I've never lived in the same place for more than 7 years. And I suddenly realised I've lived in this house for 6.5 years, nearly. So, pardon? Yeah, now, I had this the other day. It's new to Hannah. She's never seen this before. Not this. She's seen this before. My next. Actually, I like to tidy up as I go along. Trivets high-tack fabric stiffener. Oh, it's only £3.49. You get loads in there. Loads. So what you're getting here, it's suitable for most synthetic and natural materials, ideal for blind making, can be diluted with water because it stiffens according to the strength of the mixture. Different strengths give different results, right? So what it is, it's literally a solution that doesn't smell of anything, that you pour onto fabric. Now, you know when you're making like something with decorative bows, you could do the ribbon, you could stiffen the ribbon, so your ribbons don't flop like that, they're all pert like that. Or if you're making a what? Big bow on a wreath, big bow on the back of a wedding dress. John, did you drop Hannah off at home before you went to the show? No, I did not. And no, she had to get the bus, but to be honest, it was in completely the opposite direction. Anyway, so if you're making a blind, you know a blind, when you pull a blind down, you don't want it to be all floppy like that. You want it to be nice and solid, don't you? £3.49 this. Very useful. Very, very useful. You just paint it on. It's non-toxic. It's a bit, I imagine it's a bit like when you put Oda coat on. Oh, there you go. Look, it says ribbon, lace, bows, and fabric. I should really get a piece of fabric and do it, shouldn't I? And next time, I'll get the scheduling department to do that. OK, am I going then, or have I got more time? Oh, I've got more time. The graphics have got stuck. Right. So what shall I do next, then? These 12 different stabilisers. There's tear away, there's wash away, and there's cutaway. I always think cutaway and tear away are the same thing. But basically, they're different weights, different colours, and what you can do is you can use them. So, like, you know when you use your embroidery machine, say you're doing a big butterfly on the front of a blouse, you don't want it just the fabric, do you? You put a stabiliser behind it, and then you either, when you turn it around, you know when you've got a sweatshirt, it's got like your school logo or your badminton club logo or something like that. On the back, they've sometimes left a bit of the stabiliser in. Well, these are brilliant because you can either use the ones at the bottom here, which are ones that you cut away, so you get your scissors, your duck-billed scissors, you can cut those away. The wash-away ones are literally, as they say, once you wash it, once you wet the fabric, it just disappears, just dissolves away. Or the tear-away ones, we often call this one the Hannah one because she's a bit of a tear-away. What you do is once you've stitched it, you can just literally pull away the excess stabiliser from behind. So what it is, and inside, I haven't got the open one here, but inside there's a booklet all about all the different stabilisers, so you know which one you need. They've all got a label on them. They've all got a label on them, so they know, so you know which one you're using, so you can just give it. Is it working? There you go, £11.99. £11.99. There's 12 sheets in there. 12 sheets. You get the most, it's not even a little booklet, it's a big, thick booklet in there. It is in different languages as well, but it tells you all about the different stabilisers, what they're used for, how you use them, everything you need to know, and what they're called. So if you then have to order them in the future, you know exactly which weight you need and which one you want. £11.99. Right, I'm going then. Now, we've got a fantastic show coming up now. CL's here, and you know how much you all love CL. 2 hours of trouser making, what would I want to call it? Masterclass. I won't be talking very much, obviously, in this one. But anyway, sales here. So it's basically, we've got a model and everything. So we're doing wide leg, first of all, tapered trousers, and then we're doing wide leg trousers, how to fit them, how to alter your pattern. Any questions you need, I'll introduce it all in a second. Go and get yourself a cup of tea now, because you're going to need it for the next 2 hours. Don't go anywhere.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love. Sewing Quarter are excited to announce that we are supporting World Craft Week. Starting on the 16th of April, World Craft Week is all about celebrating our love of crafting. This year, sew along during the week-long campaign and show your support for a great cause, Bliss, a charity that supports premature and sick babies. If you visit www.worldcraftweek.com, you will be able to get your hands on a free copy of the World Craft Week Digimag. The magazine is packed with 23 beautiful baby projects and patterns to inspire you to get sewing during World Craft Week. Visit www.worldcraftweek.com for more information and get crafting during World Craft Week on the 16th to the 27th of April.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Taylor and I'd like to share with you 3 of my top tips. So my top tip number 1 would be your embroidery scissors. I like to keep mine on a length of thread and make a necklace out of them so you don't lose them in your sewing room. For my second top tip, I would suggest with your wound bobbins, popping them into a toe separator to stop them from unravelling in your sewing kit. For my third top tip, I would suggest using some really cheap, ineffective thread for your tacking. And the reason being is that it will be easier to snap and you also get to save your more expensive posh threads.
There are many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step. There ain't no mountain high enough for Lucy Brennan as she shares with us her fabulous forest mountain quilt. Our expert quilt maker Lucy Brennan will show us how she sets about crafting this striking 74-inch quilt using her trusted Creative Grids rulers. The result is a glorious geometric forest filled with beautiful triangular trees. We've handcrafted a selection of styles to suit your home. Choose from cappuccino and steely greys for a crisp and modern feel. Feel perfectly pink with our quilt kit filled with ports, purples and flamingo hues. Or go for greens and create your own forest masterpiece with emerald, pistachio and spearmint solids. So don't miss Lucy's Forest Mountain Quilt on Thursday the 19th of April at 11 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us. So many of you waiting for this show. It's very, very, very exciting. Dressmaking it's 2 hours of Trouser masterclass. That's what it's all about. We're basically, CL is here, you know CL. She's here to show us how to make and fit. There's no sewing, there'll be no sewing in this hour. It's all about the fit and the pattern and how you create the perfect pair of trousers for you. Whether you want tapered leg trousers, which ones we're doing first, or a wider leg trouser. Can we show the picture of the two different trousers so the people who've just tuned in can say, oh, maybe the tapered ones aren't for me or the wider leg ones are for me. These are the tapered trousers there. They're in the most beautiful samba crepe. And then we also have the wider trousers, which are made in, look at that gorgeous linen, really, really lovely linen. But I've got a perfect summer, but if you want those in an evening, because you can either make them as wide leg trousers or like that one there that CL's made, it's got a wrap around the front. We've got the most beautiful crepe. Or you could use any of the crepes I'm about to show you. Now, before we get on with all, because first of all, if you want to get in a question, by all means send in a web chat if it's a quick, general question, but if you've got a specific question that you need answering, the best way to do it would be to email. Now, we might answer some of them in the show. If it's something we can answer during the show, we will do, studio@sewingquarter.com. But we won't be able to get back to you until later on. In fact, some of them will need to ask CL the answer, because I won't know. Hannah definitely won't know the answer to some of them. And that's no offence to Hannah. It's no offence to Hannah whatsoever. She's a TV producer. CL is a master, I would say master chef. I don't know what you'd call it, like supremo. She's a sewing supremo. Anyway, so I'm going to go through the patterns for the first one, for the taper trousers, and the fabrics we've got available for the first one first. Then we'll go to CL and do that, and then we'll do the wider leg trousers. So it's over 2 hours. We think it'll be just over an hour on the first one, then just under an hour on the second pair. But just so you know, we're going to do 2 hours just on trousers, cutting, fit, and pattern, and measuring, and all sorts of things that you've asked to see. Right, the pattern, first of all, for the taper trousers. And now, it's one pattern. It's one pattern for all sizes. Right, now, this is CL will explain all of it to you. This is what they call a fitting pattern. It's £8.99. It goes from a size 8 to 16. Now, I'm not sure what that bottom thing is, the 18AW. I wonder what that is. It's not on my paper here. I don't know what that's on the graphics. Maybe CL will know that in the...
Goes up to like a 24. It's a big...
I see. I see. So, I see. With the fit, it can go up to a 24 as well. You can alter the pattern up to a 24 as well. So the actual pattern in here goes from 8 to 16. No?
You've got 8 to 16.
Yeah.
18W to 24W.
This is just, CL explained this to me. And 2 different patterns?
Yeah.
2 different patterns in the same pattern pack. Got it now. So 8 to 16 in the pattern, and you've also got a pattern for 18 to 24 in the pattern. Got it now. I didn't quite understand that on the... yeah, there we go. And it says that it is easy. No, I'm not trying to put you off, not trying to put you off at all. It will be easy by the end of the show. Will be easy by the show. Now, it's all about making a toile, isn't it? It's all about making a toile. So if you want to make a toile, which you're going to see our model, our lovely model in a minute, wearing calico versions, any time, whether you've got a dress or trousers or anything, and you want to make a toile of it, it's a pattern you've never, ever, ever tried. Right, this is plain calico, $1.99 for half a metre. I've got a metre here. This is a metre here that I've got here. Let me just measure the width for you. Oh, it's bigger than my tape measure. It's 152 centimetres wide, this one, so 60 inches wide. 60 inches wide. Fabulous, and it's a really lovely calico. Now, I said, maybe you could wash your calico beforehand, and the look on CL's face in prep this morning was like, no, John. I wouldn't wash it first. It's up to you. Oh, I love the smell of calico. Anyway, we have got loads. We have got loads and loads and loads of that. Isn't it lovely? What is it, Hannah? 150 GSM, this one. 150 GSM. So it's a nice weight to do toiles with. Oh, now, whenever we bring you calico, it's the most we've ever had today in one show. The most we've ever had. I remember I've had 300 in one show. I had 300 in one show. Oh, we've got thousands. We've got thousands. Oh, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased they've eventually started doing that. Maybe we've got a spare corner in the warehouse for that. So we've got thousands of that, thousands and thousands of that. $1.99 for half a metre. So that's what you need for your toile, right? Now, to make the finished trousers, I've got gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous crepes here. So I'll start with the blue that CL's already used. Now, this isn't the trip. Oh, this is such a lovely feel to it. This is Samba crepe, which means it's got 6%. Now, I keep calling it elastane, but I mean, well, it's 94% polyester, 6% spandex. Spandex, they call it, spandex. It's called look at it. Look at the way it falls. Whether it's trousers or whether it's a dress or whether it's a skirt, the weight is gorgeous. Look at this. Look at that. Now, this is called sapphire. It's a stretch Samba crepe. That's why you've got the spandex in it. If you're looking on the website, apparently it looks much darker on the website, but isn't that a beautiful, rich colour? That's the colour that the trousers that CL's already made are made out of. Oh, it's just gorgeous. It's like a rich cobalt, isn't it? It's like a very, very rich cobalt, that one. So that one they've called sapphire. Blimey, imagine if you found a sapphire that colour. Ooh, it'd be worth a pretty penny or two. Okay, right, so that's that one. Which colour do you want me to go to next? Pink. Now, this is more of a, it's fuchsia, but it's got a lot of red in it. Oh, look. Look at the way that falls. On the website, it looks red, red. There is no red in this. There is no red. This is the nearest to red, but it's the most gorgeous. I can almost see like a flame running through it as well. $6.99 for half a metre. This is fuchsia. Gorgeous, that's beautiful. That would, imagine a dress, made a little Edith Piaf dress with a sweetheart neckline made out of that. It's going to look stunning, isn't it? Next. Orange, you mean? Orange, yeah, orange. Right, now this is bright, bright orange, this is, look, have a look, look. What's it look like on the telly? It is like a fiery orange, that, isn't it? Sorry, I'll get to you in a minute. They're standing here so patiently, CL and Ria, my lovely model, standing here so patiently waiting for me. That is a vibrant, vibrant orange, that one. Really, really kind of bright, bright orange. Gorgeous. Next. Forest green, more of a bottle green, I'd say, but beautiful nonetheless. Oh. Can you imagine everything that's going to go with? That is just stunning, isn't it? Now, you know what you could use these with? You know, also, do you remember the outfit that Amanda Wyatt made? She made it in black and white, and it had a longer panel and everything. You could, and had trousers, and you could have short trousers. This would look lovely in that, wouldn't it? This beautiful weight of crepe. Really, really gorgeous. This is a stretch crepe, by the way. The one that she used wasn't a stretch crepe, right? Next. Like a navy blue. It is navy. If you're more classic, and you want it just to look very, very, because navy blue goes with everything. Now you see, on my telly in front of me, it's looking a bit purple. It's a very, very rich navy blue. Okay, next colour, the purple. Right, I'll show you the purple, and while I'm showing you this, it's called violet, this one. Now, what's the colour of the year? What's the Pantone colour of the year? Ultraviolet. Look, all the different tones of purple. It is like a Uruguayan amethyst. If you're wondering what I was talking about earlier, this is the top I was talking about that Amanda White made. That's a different kind of crepe, but this would work beautifully. Don't mix your crepes, though. If you're going to make it out of what are 2 of these crepes that I've got here. $6.99 for half a metre. And then ochre. Do they call it ochre? Kiwi, that's more of, oh, that is beautiful, isn't it? It's more of an ochre than a green, but isn't that lovely? Honestly. There's all sorts going on in here. I don't know how I concentrate sometimes. That is beautiful, isn't it? I don't know if I'd wear that one next to my skin, to be honest, colour-wise. That's just me. A lot of fashion houses call it chartreuse, don't they? Right, Hannah used to have a cardigan that colour. It made her drained her. Right, last one, the plain ones. Nice. Kingfisher. The kingfisher. Gorgeous, isn't it? Gorgeous, right? And now I've got a pattern. Now. Now, I know that this next one, oh, come on, Jen. I know that this next pattern does come in 2 colourways. I'm not sure why I've only got one of the colourways today. But look. Now, this is a completely, oh, look at it. Look. Now, it feels different. It feels a different weight, this one. It's still Samba crepe, but it feels slightly heavier than the crepes that, but isn't that lovely? $8.49, that one for half a metre. Look, the trousers look lovely in there. Right, so remember, the pattern and the calico, we've got thousands of units of the calico, but they are flying out the door. Calico's going to be going along the bottom. Pattern will be going up here because it's time to go. Now, remember, all the sizes are in one pattern. There's none of that, you know, kind of, oh, you need to buy this pattern, that pattern. This item code number here is the item code number from an 8 to a 24. Are we ready, girls? CL is here, and lovely Ria, our model. Now, Ria can't answer any questions because she's not got a microphone on. So if you think she's being rude, just standing there. She's not allowed to talk. Hello, you.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Hello, Ria, my love. I won't come over. Oh, you can't talk. Here are the trousers on the stand. The finished trousers on the stand, looking gorgeous, isn't it? In the fabulous crepe. Now, they have got a gorgeous pocket on them there. Lovely little waistband. And then, I mean, they're just stunning. I'll just hold them up like that. There you go. Such a beautiful trouser with the darts for fit and everything there. So what CL is here to do today is to show you how you can make a toile and fit these trousers. Ta-da! So these are the tapered trousers. Remember, we've got the wider leg trousers coming up after that. Where do we start?
Okay, so we're going to start. You're going to be my assistant.
I'll be your assistant.
Yeah. And I have a little worksheet which the viewers can download. So
right.
It's going to go on the Facebook.
Oh, okay. It's going to go on the Facebook page, right.
So this is just
Let me hold that one up
nice little way to record the measurements. And
Perfect.
it shows you everything that you need.
And where you need to measure it. Because sometimes people don't know where their waist is, where their hips are and things like that.
So we're just going to focus on the bottom half because obviously these are trousers, so we're not going to do that. So there's a pen.
Okay, thank you. I'll just find my glasses, shall I?
Now...
Right, I'm ready now, I'm here, ready. Right.
Ria already has a waistband on these trousers.
Yeah, I was going to say
because I've put a Peter shim on, and this is just to give it a little bit of stability while we're fitting. Sometimes if you don't put this sort of stabilising band on, it stretches, and when you get to the end, whoops, they don't fit anymore.
No.
Yeah? So if I was just measuring Ria, I would start by making a waistband out of a piece of elastic. So what this is for is so that we take the measurements from all the same point. Now, let me know if that's too tight, Ria.
She can't speak. She's shaking her head. Basically, as well, by using elastic, it's going to find its own base, isn't it? Where you're because we're so used to buying jeans these days, which say 30. I buy 36-inch jeans, right? My waist is nowhere near 36. It's way bigger than that. We're so used to buying shop fitting now. If we're actually measuring ourselves, it's not always the same.
No.
Like if I was to say my waist was 36, then we made something 36 waist, it wouldn't go anywhere near me. So this is why it's really important to find your natural waist so that you measure from there.
So if Rhea bends slightly from side to side, that encourages the elastic to sort of settle in the right place. So it means if I just turn you side on, we've got a nice horizontal line, so all the measurements come from the same point. So the first thing we need to do is to measure the waist.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take the tape measure.
Now, do you work in inches or do you work in centimetres?
Well, when I'm sewing, I work in inches, and when I'm cutting, I work in centimetres. What do you like?
Inches.
Okay.
But no, it's your pattern. You do it your way. Don't do it my way.
I prefer it. So I'm just going to show the number because there's no...
Okay, yes,
Not naming and shaming or calling out measures. No,
but it's also, sometimes, if you measure somebody in public... You don't want to say, oh, this one's got a 77-inch waist or something like that, do you? So you always show exactly.
And then I'm going to show you, tell me where you think your hips are. Just point to where your hip measurement is. So this is actually the hip bone. So this is called the upper hip or the top hip. And in someone like me, that would be my tummy. Now, although this measurement's important, what we really need is the seat or the bum. So whichever part is the fullest part of your bum. And again, if I just turn you side on. So a little tip, if you're measuring particularly guys, if I was to stand in front of Rhea, when my fingers join together, they're right in the groin, and that might be a bit embarrassing. So this way, I can look at the fullest part of the seat and take that measure. Okay?
Okay.
Now, it's a good idea to measure your top hip as well. So I'm just going to, it's normally about 3-4 inches below.
Yeah, I always take the hip bone as top hip as 3 inches down, and normally the fullest point is 8 inches down, but we're all so different, aren't we? What question did Donna have, did you say? Is the pattern suitable for beginners? She loves watching us together.
Yeah, so it's a really nice pattern if you've never made trousers before. The pockets aren't too tricky.
Yes.
And it's a nice way to learn a little bit about flies. So it's got what's called a mock fly. And the mock fly is not quite as tricky as a full fly, but it will give you an introduction to it. So
also, if you make your own toile, we're going to show you all the intricacies of it. Say, a lot of the time, you're either going to be between measurements. So if you think you're a size 12, look at the size 12 measurement, see if your body is that sort of shape. You might want to blend between the two, but a lot of people just take the pattern and straight make it. We're going to show you how to refine, or CL's going to show you how to refine the pattern so it's just perfect for you.
And one thing that's really, really important, whatever shop size you buy, that is not your pattern size. So you need these body measurements or you might come a cropper. And then I'm going to take the outside leg, and I normally take it to sort of where it would sit rather than the ground. So that would be 43. There's no shame in a nice long leg. And then the final measurement that I really need for these trousers is the inside leg. So I like to use a stiff-ended tape measure, because then I can pass it from the back and there's no embarrassment.
A stiff-ended tape measure is the one that has the first... This one doesn't have it, but if you can get one, you know the brass at the end of a tape measure, it's about 2.5 to 3 inches long. So especially if you're measuring men, and men always kind of go like this anyway when you start measuring the inside leg, it means your hand doesn't have to go anywhere near them. You put the top of the tape measure to where it has to go and then measure down.
And a little trick, especially with guys, if I just turn you so you face John, I always do the inside leg from the back, because that way there's nothing in the way. Even on a lady. So I can kind of see where this goes. And then I'm going to take it to the top of the shoe, and that's 30.5. So those are the basic measurements we need. And then the worksheet that we have given you a link for.
This will be on our Facebook page, won't it, afterwards, Jess?
It's got this super handy sheet here, which tells you how to blend between sizes. Now, Rhea spans a couple of pattern sizes. So she's one size at the waist, and then she's another size at the hip. I'm one size at the waist and 2 sizes different at the hip, the other way around, because I'm an apple shape, but you've got a lovely hourglass shape. So this is how you would look at your body measurements, and you would decide that maybe the waist is here and maybe the hip is there, and we blend between sizes. So I'm going to show you that in a little bit.
Okay, I've got a quick question. If somebody is a brand new beginner,
yeah,
and they just want to make the pattern as it is,
yeah,
which size should they go with?
Okay, so your trouser size or anything on the bottom, you're defined by your hip. So your hip is your frame, and then your waist is your waist is where you alter the pattern. So for Rhea, the shape of the pattern was like this, and I took the waist in a little. So if it was me, I'm still going to cut to my hip, and then I'm going to do that.
You're very honest. If I did it, I'd have to go like that, wouldn't I, with mine? But...
So that's just something you always adjust the waist, but the hip is what defines your body. If you're making a dress, it's the bust that defines your size. So that's kind of like your frame.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you guys something that I've done to the pattern. So if you look at Rhea's toile...
Do you need to lay this down? Because we can go and lie it on the table if you need to lie it down, or you're all right there?
I'm all right.
Okay.
So if you look at this toile, can you see how it doesn't have the pockets? And that's because this... I just want to assess the fit, and the pocket isn't going to help that. So what I've done is I've taken the pattern piece for this part of the pocket, and I've pinned it around the pocket mouth so that I can make the toile and just get a sense of the fit.
Yeah, because on the trouser, the bit of going into the pocket is part of a separate section, isn't it? To make the toile, you just on the because you won't do that on the real pair of trousers. That's only to make the toile.
It's only to make the toile, and this is just so I can get a real quick fit adjustment. And also, what I did when I cut this out is I folded back the fly allowance, because you can see I haven't put the fly in here. So the other thing that I've done for fit, if you just turn and face me, is I have marked where the seam allowance is so that I can pin along there. So this is helpful if you're getting your hubby or your flatmate or some random person to fit you. And I've then clipped the seam allowance so that I can fit this on the outside of the body. Yeah?
Right, Penny says she hasn't got anybody to help her measure.
Okay.
Any tips of how you could do that measuring on your own?
So this is why I've put the opening at the side seam. So this is something that I've stolen from one of my students. And the opening should be here, but if you always put an opening at the side seam for your first fit, you can pin yourself. Okay,
but now what about doing the actual measurements on your own?
Oh, that's quite easy to do on your own. The only thing is the outside leg. So what I'd say is measure your favourite pair of trousers and then use that in your kind of little chart. Or, because one thing you mustn't do when you're measuring, either being measured by anybody else or by yourself, is Rhea did it automatically. When CL was doing the outside leg, she went like that to look. You have to remain, so it's best to do it in front of a mirror so you remain completely perpendicular. And what you can do to do your outside leg is if you put your tape measure here, let it drop down, you can see from in the mirror what roughly what the measurement, unless you've got Hannah's eyes apparently, roughly what your measurement is. But you can always, the length you can always, that's the least important for the fit because it is but the rest you can sort of do, but always do the elastic on your waist, even if you're doing it yourself. Okay. Yeah. So when we're looking at a toile, a little thing is I just want Rhea, she's already moved around in it, but get her to kind of wriggle, walk, you know, reach for the tube or kind of have a little gin because the garment will move around. That's reach for the biscuit cupboard for me. We don't have tubes up here. No tubes up here. So, or hail a cab. What that does, when we tend to fit ourselves, we kind of go a bit rigid and we hold a position and that's not how the clothes are going to be. So we're making clothes to wear. Before we came on air, I asked Ria to sit down. So there's no point making trousers you can't sit in.
Yes.
So that helps to decide whether or not I've got the right length going around the crotch. So I didn't do that measurement, which is a bit awkward to do.
Well, the way I would do a crotch depth is, the way I was trained to do it is you get your actor or actress to sit on a chair and you measure from the chair up to where you've marked your waist. And that doesn't give you the measurement all the way around. That gives you what the crotch depth is going to be. Because some of us, as you know, some people are higher waisted, lower waisted. So that's on that. But you can also do the measurement. You do this on men or ladies. Do you want me to hold the front there?
So this is the crotch length. So it's slightly awkward, and
I'm just going to turn you around so we can see it going right. It goes right the way through.
So that's the length between the girth of the body.
Yeah.
And you might find that somebody has more at the back or more at the front. So one little trick that I have used sometimes when I'm fitting myself is I take an elastic band, roughly where I think the halfway point is, and then I can slide it on the crotch, but I'm not going to do that to Ria.
But also when I mean, we're on telly and you're all watching, and poor Ria works here. We work with Ria in the scheduling department, and she's volunteered to do this for us today. When you're actually having measurements fitted, if you were drawing up, if you weren't using a pattern, you were drawing up, you take so many more measurements, including, you know, like nipple to nipple point and everything, just so you get everything. It's called point to point, isn't it? No, it is. It's nipple to nipple.
Apex to apex.
Do you call it apex to apex? Oh, point to point, we used to call it. But anyway, you take all these measurements because you want it to be the perfect fit. We're showing you how to alter a pattern to then make that the perfect fit for you. But it does become not personal, but it is, you do take an awful lot. My measurement sheet is like twice that size.
Yeah, I would normally do top thigh, small knee, around the knee, calf, ankle, below the knee, you know, just lots and lots of measures. So I'm just
only because the only other one I would do as well is some trousers have a definite. Remember I was saying the other day about if you're petite, don't buy a pair of regular size trousers and just shorten them because everything will be in the wrong place. I often do the outside leg to the knee as well, just so you can see if there is shaping in the trouser from the knee, especially if you're going to do a boot cut or something like that. You don't want suddenly your boot cut to be coming out here or coming out there. You want it to be coming from, so you want to know exactly where the knee is so you can graduate it.
Yeah. So home sewing patterns always have a lengthen and a shorten line. So I haven't done anything to the length of these trousers. Now Ria quite likes a crop, but if she wanted these as a full length, we can see that they're a little too short.
Yes.
So that would be like my first note is that we would adjust the length, but you like this kind of like ankle skimmer.
Oh, so you're not going to, I've got a cushion ready for you to kneel down, but you're not
We might do that in a minute.
All right.
So my first thing, I'm just going to explain why we have these lines here. So this is the hip line. And I can see that it's sort of straight, which means that the balance is right in that area. If this was coming up or dipping down, then we'd need to make some adjustments. And then this line, it's not the centre of the trouser, it's actually the grain line. So we're looking at that to see if it's absolutely
Can you see
vertical.
that on there? There's a line going down there, that's it.
So we're just coming down here, and that's going to help me look at whether or not the knee is twisting or it's kind of moving
because sometimes you can get a pair of trousers and think they're going straight, but actually on the actual person you're making them for, because my legs go like that, you'll see that the straight grain isn't going. You want the straight grain to carry on going straight down, and sometimes it's kind of going in like that. So you'd have to adapt the pattern accordingly. Jules and Patricia, is it? You say? Oh, I see. So if you've got a specific question that might take too long to cover in the show, please email it in, and one of us will reply to you after the show, just so that we don't take up the whole show doing one. There's the email. We'll do general questions, obviously, by the web chat and by the show. But if you've got a specific question, please feel free to send it in, and one of us will reply to you later. Right, sorry.
Okay, so your basic fit, you want to kind of take a stand back, and both John and I like to fit with the mirror in front, so we're going to pretend that that's the mirror.
Yeah. So, well, it's because you get twice the distance. Yeah. So I could look at these trousers from here, and I'm like 3 feet away. If I look here, I've got the distance from here to the mirror and to the mirror back, so you can see it looks like they're twice as distance away. It's a trick from a show as well, because you're not, if you're making a costume for the theatre, nobody sees it this close. No, so the nearest person, the front row, is all the way down here. So you need to, oh, there you go, Hannah paints in a mirror, you see. So it's kind of to get the depth, isn't it?
It is. And it's also, in terms of theatre, it's what you can get away with. Because if you can't see it in the mirror, you've got away with it.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Right, but that's for things like painting, decorative, when you can't do embroidery. So basically, when you start fitting, what you're looking for is wrinkles in the fabric. So those wrinkles tell you that something needs to be done. So there's a little trick for whether you have smiles or frowns. And if we look, sorry, Ria.
No, this is here on the fit of the trousers.
So if we look at the crotch, can you see that there's a wrinkle here? And there's a wrinkle on the other side. And also, it's almost like a heat or a tension map. It looks a little snug here. Did it feel snug when you sat down?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we might want to release a little bit of that inside leg, so that thigh. So if you've never fitted yourself before, don't stitch your toile, pin it on the outside, and then it's easier for you to fit it. And that's called a pin fitting, which is explained in the pattern.
Sometimes I would do a toile like this if I was just me and the actress and a designer. And if the trousers were doing that, I would literally split the side seam completely open and re-pin where I needed to go. And don't be frightened to do that. That's what your toile's all about. Is if it doesn't look right, there's something wrong, and you haven't cut into your fabric, you haven't cut into you've only cut into your calico, split it, and then re-pin it. And you'll see just by re-pinning that you'll be able to release some of those, well, especially that, because Hannah has trouble buying, you don't mind me saying this, do you, Hannah? Shop-bought trousers, because her thighs are too big for shop-bought trousers. So all she needs is, she just needs a little bit of extra there. And what you can do is, if it might be fine at the back and it might just be at the front. So you just want to release a bit of the fabric from the front, don't you? By splitting the seam, you can then just pin it exactly where it's meant to fit on your leg.
So when I make trousers, it's a bit tricky doing this on my own, but I do it. I have a little mirror. So I have my long mirror, and then I can look at the back in my little mirror, and you adjust it like so. And I always pin fit everything. So I don't even stitch all the fabric, and I go straight to fabric.
Yeah, but then it's your career. You know what you're doing.
So one little thing about this pattern, it's kind of unusual. The waist, the outside leg and the inside leg have an inch seam allowance. So that's like in tailoring, we have an inlay, and that's going to give you a little bit of wiggle room. If you go straight for cutting the fabric, there's plenty of fabric in here.
Remember, this is what's really important on this one and on any other pattern like this. Because you're just going to presume it's got a 5/8 inch seam length. So you then sew it together with a 5/8 seam length. You've got loads and loads and loads of extra space. When I was doing costumes, all my seams, if I didn't know, if an actress had gone, oh, darling, I'm a size 10, and you knew full well, you'd seen it on telly the night before, and you knew she was a size 10, all my seams would have at least an inch seam allowance, because then you've got 4 inches to play with if they are not the size they say.
And I normally put a 3-inch inlay on my centre back
seam,
particularly for costumes when maybe someone's going to, an understudy will go on and you can let it out. And I usually make ladies' trousers in the way that they do men's, so I can seam up the back through the waistband, but that's another...
Yes. But I always leave that much, because also actors and actresses are renowned for... Also, sometimes they were like me. I've lost a lot of weight recently, so you could have my measurements from last time I had something made, and not... you don't always have the joy of measuring the person.
So the first thing we want to look at the front, apart from the fact that the length, so do all your length adjustments and then do your width. If you start with your width adjustments and then you decide you want, especially on the pattern, which we'll show you in a little while, if you then decide to shorten or lengthen it, the width moves.
Yes.
So I've done that when I went to a wedding and I altered a dress to fit me, and I did all the width adjustments, and then I raised the shoulder. And so basically, where I'd taken the waist in, it was sat here, and I couldn't breathe.
Oh, no.
So you do everything to the length, and then you true the width. So
and then double check. Yeah. If we've come to a natural break, I just need to go through the fabric because they're flying out the door, and then I'll come straight back to you. Is that all right?
Yeah. One little thing about this fabric, so this travelled really well. So it's great if you want clothes to go on holiday, because the creases just drop out.
Oh, summer wedding, Hannah's saying, because she's got plenty of those to go to. But I think it's the 6% spandex in it, just gives it that little bounce back ability.
And it was a dream to sew.
Oh, is it? Oh, we'll come to that in a second. Right, very quickly then. Pattern. Now, remember, it's a fitting pattern, all sizes in one pattern, so it does go from an 8 to a 24 in the same pattern. And it's got the inch seam allowance on the outside leg and the inside leg, you said, CL?
Yes.
Inch seam allowance there and there.
And the waist.
And the waist, and the waist, and the waist. But read, this is why it's important to read all the instructions. I can't believe we're halfway through the hour already.
Oh.
Yes, I know. Right, very quickly. Don't worry, though, don't worry. Calico first. Couldn't sit. No, because it was over that side when I left. That was all. Somebody's been tidying. Now, we had hundreds and hundreds of units have already gone. Don't worry, I've got thousands, but even so. This is what Ria is currently wearing at the moment to make her toile. Now, the thing is, Hannah's saying don't wear it out. I love outfits made out of calico. I think calico's a really, really lovely, versatile fabric. So you can wear it to go out if you want to, but obviously not with all your markings on and everything like that. The most we've ever had today. So if you've previously missed out, well, I'm saying you won't today. You might not today, but who knows? I can't guarantee you won't. All right, that's the calico. Right, okay, some of the colours that I've proved very popular because we want to get back to CL as popular. They're all Samba crepes, so they're all 94% polyester, 6% spandex. Most popular so far, the sapphire, which is the one that the trousers are made out of there. They're all £6.99 for half a metre apart from the floral one, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Forest green is very popular. And, oh, there's the forest green. I'm only doing one more and then I'll go back. You can see all the colours. If you want me to waft the colours, I will do for you, because on the web, they do look very different to they do in real life. So how they look. Okay. There's the violet. Now, we will talk more about the pattern later, but if you need to know how much fabric you need to buy and what sizes they are, just go to the website. There's a picture of the front and there's a picture of the back. You can zoom in on the back to see the yardaging and any information they want to give you on the back. Right, I need to go back because we've got loads to get through. Right, I'll come back over here. What's next?
Okay, so we're going to start the fitting process. Now, I'm wearing a wrist pin cushion because I'm used to having an assistant, and now that when I teach I don't have an assistant anymore, I'm experimenting. So,
but that's how I learned. I was at Wimbledon School of Art, but being assistant to like Jane Cowood and Fran Bristow and all the people who were making for all the big West End shows, I was the equivalent. Yeah. And you'd literally stand there just passing pins, but watching and getting used to where they pin. It's anyway.
I started pinning too, and I got thrown out of a fitting for joining in with a singer that was telling jokes, and apparently I was supposed to just stand silent.
I was shocked when I got my first job, and actors and actresses are renowned for not worrying about taking their clothes off. So I always remember making a dress for a West End star, and we went in for the fitting, and she just literally took all her clothes off, and I just stood there going, and they kept saying, John, put the dress on. What's her name? John, put the dress on. I was like, kind of jitter. Anyway, go.
So the first thing I want to talk about is looking at Ria. We can see that she is lovely and tall. She has a great figure, and she's quite long in the rise. So if this trouser was on me, I would need to shorten it.
OK, that's one of the questions coming in about raising the waist and lowering the waist.
So what I would tend to do is I would take an elastic, and I probably wouldn't fit with this on in that case, and I'd hoik it up, or I'm not going to do this to Ria because I don't want to give you a wedgie. But you can take a fold.
All the mystique's totally going. I don't want to give you a wedgie, darling.
Sorry.
Go on.
We can take a fold, that's what I would do.
To make it shorter.
To shorten that length. Yeah. And you always want to think about this measurement that we took through the girth, you need some ease on that. Otherwise, you can't sit down. No. Okay? So I'm looking at the dart length. So can you see that this is kind of not doing anything here? It's kind of short, and where it should go is just a fraction lower. So don't be afraid to draw.
Well, I use on my toiles. I use felt pen, but
or Sharpie.
Isn't that a felt? Yeah, other pens are available.
And sometimes you may want to think about adjusting. So this is another reason not to put the fly in for fitting, because we may want to just adjust this.
Yes.
I'm looking at this pattern, and John would make a note for me that I think there's too much ease in here. So you can see all this bumpiness, and that's not what we want in a pair of trousers, is it? So, John, have you made that note? There's too much ease?
Yes.
So that would mean that we would pinch out the waist a little once we've taken that out.
So how would you make it, pinching it in there makes it shorter waisted? What happens for a lady who wants to make it slightly higher waisted?
You would just unpick a little of this, raise it up and mark yourself a new line. Now, one thing that I do with my students when we're fitting pyjama trousers is we take the elastic, and let's say Ria decides that she wants these as a super low rise. Yeah. She can pin this to where she wants it. And that can mean that you can put a curve. So if we wanted this to be like here, slightly exaggerating this bit. And then I can just draw above the line of the elastic, and that creates my new waistline. I'd only draw half because I'm going to mirror it.
Right, OK. And for a higher waistline, you wouldn't have the peach on here.
And then you raise your elastic up and mark the bottom where you want.
You wouldn't want to go up much higher.
No.
Because it's then going to take, because these are already quite high-waisted, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you took it too high, then you're going to create one of those 1970s one with a waistband up there. If I just spin you round here, if you see, you wouldn't want it to go up too much higher at the back, sort of thing.
No.
So you wouldn't want to go up much higher than that. But you'll know where you want your trousers to sit.
Yeah.
But these aren't low to begin with.
No. So these are, on me, these would be Simon Cowell trousers.
Yes.
And that wouldn't be a good look. So I'm just going to turn Ria so that she's facing the camera. So when Ria was walking around earlier, so I just want to... I noticed that this was slightly dipping down, and I also noticed that in Ria's actual trousers. So that means that the back crotch, because Ria's so lovely and tall, and straight out in the shop, they can't fit everyone straight on. So I might give her a little bit of extra length in there, possibly in the crotch or possibly here. So then I would make a little note with, if I was by myself, I'd give myself a note. It's a fraction, and tiny little adjustments can make a big deal. And I like to draw a little arrow to remind me when I get it flat that I need to do something here. And I'm also, while we're here, can you see? So these darts kind of stop there, and we've got this poofing, which is not particularly flattering.
No.
And because Ria is long in the rise, the dart should stop just before she kind of curves. So I would lower that to about there. Never take it beyond the curve of your bum, because then it creates a poof below. And also, they look a bit too far to the sides. Yeah. So I'm going to give myself a line, and I'll move the dart when I get it flat. And these have got a double dart at the back to create a really nice shape, so you haven't got a spiky dart.
Yes, because at the moment the dart's here and that's too far around, isn't it? You want it to be sitting here.
Yeah.
Now, if it fits around there, you don't change the width of the dart, do you? The width of the dart stays the exact same. You just make it that little bit longer. So when you unpin it, your 2 points there will be the same, but you just literally take them further down, don't you?
And there's a cool trick for moving darts that it means you don't have to do any geometry.
Exactly. Loads of, I can just tell you're getting loads and loads of lovely messages.
Oh, thank you guys. So fit is very subjective. So Ria would sort of, as the customer, would be telling me how she wants these to fit. I can see that they're a bit poofy here, so I might slither a little bit off the hip and the side seam. Now, when you're fitting, make sure to pin both sides.
Yes.
Okay. So I like to kind of, a bit like hairdressers do, I'm kind of seeing if I'm even, and I use my thumb and my fingernails as kind of measuring tools. So I'm just going to pin out a little bit here.
Sometimes it literally looks like, oh, is it really worth it?
Yeah.
Because if you think you're only pinning a 1/4 of an inch there, but if you think 1/4 of an inch here on both sides, that's a whole inch you're taking out of the trousers. You're taking 1/4 inch out of this side, 1/4 inch out of that side, and the same on the far side.
But why not have the fit that you want?
Yeah, exactly. Because once you've got the pattern, you've got the pattern then to make them in all sorts of different things. And what we're doing is we're making a shop-bought pattern kind of exclusive to you, as it were, you know, perfect for you. This
is the perfect pattern to have as like a block.
Yes.
You could do all kinds of stuff with this. So once I've done this, I would then want to see what these, because everything has a knock-on effect.
Yes.
So if I've pinned in here, I already know that there's a little bit of tension.
So I just need to turn you back round there. That's it.
So there's a little bit of tension here, and that is telling me that I need to do an adjustment on the inside leg. But there's also a bit of kind of poofing. Can we see that?
Yeah.
So when I was trained, I was taught to pin it out and then look at it when it's flat.
Yes.
So I might be pinning here, but this isn't where I'm going to take the adjustment.
Well, no, you can't.
Measure
There's nowhere
that,
to take it from.
but it's kind of a little bit awkward. So sometimes I might pin out. Can you see my smiles have turned to frowns?
Yeah, you got that.
So I'm just going to pin out this, and this means that I need to release a little bit of the inside leg.
It's almost impossible to do that when you've got somebody in it.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing is we were trained to do this because you normally only get an actor for half an hour, and you don't have the luxury of going, oh, I'll just do this, I'll just do this. You have to make all the decisions really, really quickly. Yeah. So pinning that out, you then make a note saying, I need to alter that seam. You're not going to take it from where you've darted it out there.
And this particular pattern comes with loads of fitting tips built in.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ria. So that kind of gets rid of that. And this adjustment is all going to be inside. It's not going to be around here. So then we're just going to have a little look at the back. And particularly in the home sewing community, there's a lot of people who are trying to get rid of all of the wrinkles in the legs. You can only get rid of 80%.
Right.
Because otherwise you can't do it.
The other thing is when I'm fitting like this, I always make them sit down in between each pinning as well, because there's no point in pinning it if you then go to sit down and find that the trousers are going to be too tight, they're going to split or be uncomfortable.
So I'm looking here, and these wrinkles are telling me that something is dragging in here. So again, we've got that adjustment. We need to release the inseam on the front, but we also need to release a bit of this. And I might just pin. You can see it's kind of pointing
to where,
so between this point and this point, I'm going to adjust it. Now, somebody like me who has a flat bum, I often take a big tuck all the way down the back. So wherever you see kind of fullness, pin it out, and then check the pattern, and it will tell you what the adjustment is.
What to do, yes, exactly. That's what, when you get a fitting pattern, that's not on, that's what's the joy about this pattern, is a fitting pattern, so it gives you all these tips. On a normal, if you just go and buy a normal pattern, it doesn't have all the fitting tips. So this is a brilliant pattern to get if you're just starting, because you'll be able to transfer skills from this pattern. So if you buy another pattern from me next week and the trousers are doing the same thing, you can think, oh, that's what those did on my calico ones. I can go back to look at that pattern, and it's almost like a reference thing.
And Palmer Pletch, who designed this pattern, have written loads of fitting books, and they're considered fit experts. So you get a lot of the content from the books in the pattern, so you don't need to do anything other than buy the pattern. So I'll show you some of the...
Yes, I was going to say, we've only got 10 minutes left.
Okay.
No, we're going to go over a little bit, but just so you know, there's only 10 minutes left to the top.
So I wasn't just stroking.
Yes.
I'm feeling there's often a little bit of tension in the calf, and if you turn back to the camera, we can see that grain line. Does that look straight? It's moving a little bit.
No, yes.
Yeah, so, and if I just turn you side onto the camera, I also want to look at my side seam, because that needs to be absolutely perpendicular to the ground. It's not too bad, but there's definitely a little bit here. So I might either chalk, if my assistant handed me the chalk.
Oh, gosh. I was too busy worrying about the cushion. I haven't passed you the cushion to kneel on.
I actually wear a knee pad.
I'm a rubbish assistant,
for fitting, because I've got a knee injury.
Oh, no.
No, it's fine. Right. Okay, so I only need to release it at the back, and I'm probably going to release it, because if you turn and face the camera, when we look at Ria from here, can you see?
Oh, sorry, that's it.
That the inseam is just coming forward a little. So what that means is I need a teeny bit more fabric on the front, because that's just bringing this. and then I need to release the back a little.
Yes, and then that will make the grain line go down the middle, won't it?
So the grain line, by marking it, I mean, normally I would hand baste it, but I
Yeah.
just machined it on the calico. It means you can use this as a tool.
But also, don't be frightened. If you think, there's my seam allowance, you've got 5/8 of an inch seam allowance either side, or an inch seam allowance either side, don't be thinking you've got to let both of them out the same amount.
No.
You can let the front out. If it's pulling round, you can let the front, leave the seam line where it is on the back panel, and just let the front seam out just a little bit to give you a little bit more, because you don't need extra fabric at the back, you need it at the front. So just release the seam on the side that you actually need it.
So I'm just marking a line that I think is going to be a new seam line. And sorry, I know this feels weird to be drawn on. And then probably lengthwise, I would need to let this down the full 2 inches that I've turned up if I want it to be a full length trouser.
Yeah, what you see, the joy of is you'd have 2 fittings.
Yeah.
So I would just leave that long on the actual toile, and then at the next fitting, after I've cut it out in the fabric and fit it in the actual fabric, that's when I then choose my, because also, it's fine with those shoes, but you might come back next time with great big high heels on and go, oh, it's not in the right place, not in the right place. The other thing is, if you're going to wear good foundation garments or Spanx, make sure you wear them while you're doing your fittings.
Yeah.
It's like if you do a dress, always wear, like I used to do wedding dresses, and if they're not wearing the bra they're going to wear on the wedding day, then there's no point in taking all this time to fit it, because it's not going to be, you know.
The same with your heels. Your final length has to be in whatever shoes you want to wear your trousers with. So if you want this to be a dress trouser, you're going to need to wear those heels for the fitting, otherwise they won't work.
Or take both.
Yeah.
So you bring these and your high to see if they're going to work with both, then you come to a compromise between the two.
Should we have a look at the pattern?
Should we go to the table?
Yeah.
We're leaving you now, so you can just have a little sit down, just in case we need to call you back. But thanks, Ria. Oh, poor old Ria. She works in our scheduling department in the office, and she's you're right. Right. Joanne says this show is absolutely brilliant. Another really helpful lesson. Thank you from Jo and Ben.
Thanks,
there are
Joanne.
so many messages. Right, you're on that side.
Okay.
Right. So no, it was me. Right.
Phew. Okay, so...
Any specific questions, please email me, because we're not going to have time. We are going over, don't worry, we will go over, because there's still some more to cover on this, and then we'll do the other trousers straight after.
If you quilt, your quilting tools are also useful for dressmaking, because you've got nice right angles.
Yes.
So when we're looking at the pattern, the first thing we need to do, can you see how I've ringed Ria's waist and her hips? Then that's what told me that she needed to blend.
Okay, so the sizes that are on the back of the pattern here are the model sizes, the person you make physical measurements.
Body measurements. Yes. And that tells you the body measurements of the block that was used for this pattern.
Yes.
So like we talked about with the waist, always measure your natural waist. Even if it's a low-rise trouser, the designer has taken it from there and already worked out the math. Yes. So I knew I needed to blend between this pattern size and then that pattern size at the hips. So
if this was you, for example, if that was your... No, I'm not being nasty. No, I'm not going to point to the specific number. But if this was your hip, your waist would be further across this way, because you're apple shaped, same as my mum. It's always the way. It's nothing to be ashamed of. We're all different body shapes.
Apple shape is just an athletic shape who's let themselves go.
Yeah, that's right.
So inside, I'm still an athletic shape.
Yeah, but apples are healthy, aren't they?
Okay, so one little thing, after you've taken your body measurements, the best way to get a good fit is to look at this little symbol here, and this symbol indicates a measurement point. So this is the hip, and the measurements below will tell you what the finished garment is. Right. So that's like I've taken those blue trousers and measured them flat. So ease is very subjective, and I've just left my little crib sheet over there.
Right.
So on a trouser,
yes,
you need at least 1.5 inches more than your body measurement if you want a close fit.
So if you are a 40-inch hip, at the fullest part we're talking about now, the trousers need to be at least 41.5 inches.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, there's a little crib sheet. So what's great about this little worksheet that I found is it gives you standard ease measurements, which is ACE.
All of this will be going on the link to all of this will be going on our Facebook page.
So if we look here, it's saying that for a pair of trousers, now it's American, so they call them pants. We're not making pants today, okay?
Pants.
So for the waist, we need a minimum of 1 to 2 inches over the body measurement.
Right.
And then you compare that. So if the waist is 30, I want the trousers to be 31 to 32. Otherwise, you can't eat or breathe or dance. So then I would look at the finished garment measures for the waist and select that
Is that this
size.
one? I haven't got my glove.
They didn't have it on here, so I just went with the hip.
Yeah. I've just got to say as well quickly, I've just told you to go to the website to look at the back. The picture's been taken with the flap in, so we're having the picture retaken with the flap out, so you can see all the information on the pocket, on the package.
Okay, and then around the girth measurement, so that was the one from the front through the legs, it's telling you that you need, and the girth measurement is called crotch length. So crotch length is around the body.
Which is different. Crotch depth is the one I told you there.
Yeah, so they get confused, and some books have mixed them up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here, it's telling me what I need for my hips. So that's a nice, useful little crib sheet.
Anne in Chester says, you're a star, Ria. Great show, John and CL.
I think we should give her a round of applause.
Yeah, later.
Okay, so...
She's got another whole show to go yet, so don't get too excited.
I just want to show you some basic principles of adjustments. Now, this is the side pocket. So I've removed that. Now, if I want to make the waist bigger or smaller, like we've just done with Ria, well, I can't really blend at the side because there's nothing there. And also, all of these bits fit together and the measurements don't work. So I've drawn with my ruler down to the hip line, which is in line with this mark. I've drawn a 90-degree line and I've drawn across there. So it's like an L shape. So the basic principle of pattern fitting is on L shapes.
Right, yes.
So because I work with patterns a lot, I like to use a full-size pair of scissors.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut. So this is cutting and slashing. And cut my L shape.
What you make sure you do is you avoid the dart as well, because you don't play with the dart at all. The dart's staying there.
And then on rear, I might want to move where that little fullness was. Say I want to move this over and measure the amount I want to shorten it by. So that would trim that.
Which is what you've pinned in.
Yeah.
So if you've pinned in 3/4 of an inch on the trousers from Ria, what you do is you move that one in 3/4 of an inch. Not twice the 3/4 of an inch, just a total of 3/4 of an inch. And then that creates exactly the right... So that means you haven't messed with this line here, you haven't messed with your dart, and so all you're doing is making it slightly smaller that way. If you wanted it to go the other way...
Yeah, so if you want to go the other way, you keep this hip line true. So you slide that over, and I keep odd bits of paper in my studio with lines on for when I'm fitting. So let's pretend I want to do this for me.
Okay, well, do you need another bit of paper? Oh, there'll be complaints now.
All right. Third show and he's already getting mean. All right, so the reason is I draw incremental marks, and you sell a pattern paper that's got grids on it, don't you? So this is a tissue, which is why I've used tissue paper. But if I slide that underneath, so actually I need to cut almost the same hip size as Ria, but obviously I don't have her lovely figure. And then...
Yes, you do have a lovely figure.
I have a different
figure. Just if you're at home wondering, are they not going to go for break? We're going to carry on for another 10 minutes or so, just so we've finished everything that CL needs to tell you in this hour. Then we'll have a break, and then we'll start on the next pair of trousers after that, if that's all right.
Okay, so I line it up with that pencil.
Yeah.
And what I do in my studio is I've got a whole load of these wrapped around the inside of a toilet roll, so...
Nice.
You know, the cardboard tube.
Yes.
And then I can just wheel them out when I'm fitting.
Oh, yes, you haven't made them out of toilet roll.
No, I made them out of toilet roll. So this is Scotch Magic, and the dispenser's kind of a nice handy. So I want 2 inches.
Yeah.
So I slide my little L shape over there, stick that down.
Yes, you see, because what I do is I pin it to a piece of paper and kind of guess it, and then but then you have to keep... If you guess it, you have to keep moving it, whereas you know automatically you've just added your 2 inches in there.
So I've measured this from the toile, and I know that that's what I want to do. Now, can you see what's happened down here?
Yes.
So what we need to do here is trim.
Can you see here? Look, so now this is what was the seam here. As now one bit's out here and one bit's here.
But I don't necessarily want to change, I need a bit more here. So what you then do is you do what's called truing. And you've got to kind of think about where we want this to be trued. So...
What do you call it?
Truing.
Truing?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're truing up your edges.
Yeah, not like trews, Hannah. Hannah said, like a Scottish pair of trousers.
So usually...
Got some pins.
I don't really want to change too much at my hips. Yeah, I've got my pins on.
I was going to be an assistant, but there's pins on the wrist.
So if you think about... I might have a French curve.
Yes.
So this is the point I don't really want to adjust. So just using the straight line, I'm showing you that. I often draw the straight line in straight away.
Yeah.
So can you see now I've got this spike? So I am going to have to blend this. I don't think... Have you got a French curve?
Not here. There's one I wish... No. Is the one to hand?
No, we can do it. Right? I'm actually better with a straight ruler.
But this is where, when I show you a French curve and all the different things you can use it for, this is one of the places you use it for.
Might be a little bit extreme. So
yes, because if you get to this point here, you're going to suddenly have like a point almost, an inverted point on your trousers, which you don't want.
So I probably would start, I'm not going to draw on your table.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of give yourself a nice curve. And I'm going to slither a little bit off here.
Right.
Because the hip is not really changing too much. And then I'm better drawing. Oh, I should stick that.
Haven't stuck it, yeah.
Sorry. So when you stick, you don't want to use a great long strip, just little kind of tabs. Yeah. Otherwise, if you try and use a big long strip, the tissue will suck up. So I probably needed to blend that a little bit more. Yeah. So a trick for seeing that's kind of dog-legged.
OK, now it doesn't matter that you've taken a little bit of your original pattern off.
Because it's a side seam, I haven't changed my... And then I might kind of probably take that a little bit further down.
Yes, because you've still got a little bit of a dent there.
And this is so... When we pinned out this little tuck...
Yeah.
Remember
that was under the crutch thing?
I needed to adjust that. So I'd take a measurement and then I would kind of transfer that over to here. So I would probably need about a ½ inch on the inseam because it was pulling. So I need to add a little bit and then I'll be reshaping this seam.
So you've taken a ½ of an inch in here.
No, I'm just giving that ½ inch as a...
sorry, ½ inch.
Yeah, I want to add it.
I was going to say, you're adding, you're not taking
So I'm adding, but again, I don't want to go all the way down past the knee.
So you're going to add on, so whatever that measured there, so that was ½ an inch, you want to add ½ an inch onto here, but then you've got to redraw that line in there.
And I might, on this pattern from Ria's fitting, I'd probably do that to the front and the back.
Yes.
And then this same principle of doing a little L shape, if I wanted to move the darts on the back, I draw a box around my dart, and I cut that box and I slide the whole dart and then I just fill in the hole. Do you want me to show you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All I do is I just measure it and just draw it there.
Oh, I can't be bothered with that.
OK.
No, but this is easier for people who don't understand because the angle, we don't necessarily want to change that. Yeah. So I'd have my toile and I would kind of true it.
Yes.
So this is the dart, and let's say I want this dart to be over here.
Yes.
So I could measure it, but I might want to angle it. If I draw myself a rectangle around the dart, so using the kind of L-shaped slide and cut, I can move any feature.
I can honestly say I've never seen this. I've done this bit, I've done the other side. I've never moved a dart like this before.
I do it with bust darts, so then you haven't got to worry about the funny little shape at the top because you're keeping it in.
Oh, of course.
So you cut exactly. There's a nice little diagram in this in my book.
In where?
For a bust dart in my book.
Which book's that?
Fashion with Fabric. OK, so then I would be thinking, how much do I want to slide this?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give myself a horizontal guideline. So I don't move it around.
Yeah.
And then I slide that over by the amount.
So when you moved Ria's dart to the back, which were too far here, and you want to move them more to the centre back seam, you've just cut them out of your panel, move them to where you want them.
Yeah.
So you'll then stick that there.
Yeah, but the ones that I want to do on Ria, do you remember I said that I thought they were a bit short?
Yes. So they're in the wrong place and too short.
Yeah. Sorry, that's a little bit.
Yeah.
So I would measure how far down I marked there.
Yeah.
Give myself a new apex.
Yeah. Just a delicate one there.
And then I don't want to take out any more on the waist.
No, that's what I was asking when you were putting it.
I may want to take out a bit more, because remember I talked about the ease, so I might just slither off a little bit more. And one little tip, on home sewing patterns, these darts are always triangles, and the human body is not straight.
No.
So on me, if you have a bit of a tummy, I don't have a tummy. Underneath here, I'm like a washboard.
Yeah, that's right.
I might do what's called a contour dart. So it's slightly more curvy.
But that's where you could use your French curve again,
Yeah.
isn't it? Just to curve it off. So, and then what, would you just get a piece of paper and fill that bit in there?
So we just take that, we fill this in, and...
Sorry. I'm just worried about the time.
All right.
But no, all right. What do we need to go on to after this? Because we've only got about 5 more minutes before...
Okay. Has anyone got any questions?
You've got lots and lots of questions.
Do you want to answer some questions?
We're going to do it by email, and you and I'll have to have a sit down and we'll
sit down. So then the next thing that I might want to think about, I'd take some measurements off of my toile, and I knew that the calf, so I made that mark, so I would measure up, transfer that over, and look at where I wanted to adjust this. So I felt that this seam...
Yes.
Was tracking too far forward.
Yeah.
So what I need to do is grab the back leg that's on the top of that trolley.
You need what?
The back pattern piece. Woo! Okay.
Oh, that's all that was...
Yeah, I didn't need
the whole trolley cost all it was a pattern piece. Right, sorry.
So what I did on rear is around about here, around about the calf, I made a note that it felt a little bit snug. So we want a little bit of extra, but also this seam line is tracking forwards. So I kind of want to take a bit off of here.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't want to take a bit off, and then add it onto here.
Yes.
So you just kind of make sure everything matches, and you'd be a bit more precise and measure than I'm being. And then I would stick, I've run out of my tissue.
Oh no.
So I'm just going to pretend with my pocket piece. So I would.
We're not going to cut it, don't worry.
I'd stick some more tissue, and often, like on this pattern, there's usually bits left over. I keep those bits for fitting. And then I would redraw this like I did on the toile.
Yeah, so you don't take it off this one.
No.
You redraw it onto this one because you want to add some fabric into the front.
So the point that I really know it was biting was the calf.
Yeah.
So here, and then I would just blend that back in.
Brilliant.
Yeah?
OK, now, don't worry, because there's a whole nother hour to go, or 50 minutes to go yet, but we just need to finish this hour, have a little break, and then come back. So I just need to go through the pattern and the calico and the fabrics, and then we'll come back with the other trousers. Okay. So do you want to go and prep up your other trousers, and I'll just run through these fabrics. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't need to do everything. CL's just covered lots of... Most people, when you're doing your fitting, you'll either need to do this one or that one, or that one. We're just covering every single point. So please, please, please don't think, oh God, I'm gonna have to do all of that pattern. It just depends on the different, you might not need to adjust the crotch or anything. You might need to do the leg, you know what I mean? So don't think, oh, I've got to do all of that to it. We're just covering absolutely everything that you might think you might need. And watch it on YouTube later and you'll be able to see the bits that you need to see. Right, the pattern, $8.99, goes from an 8 to a 24. It's one pattern in there, all of them are in there. Just the one design with the pockets, with the waistband. £8.99. Thank you so much, CL, for all the instruction and the advice. Amazing show from Diane in East Riding of Yorkshire. We're having loads and loads of messages. The which? Oh yes. This bit here is going to be reshot on the website because at the moment it's tucked in, so you can't see all the details on there. But it will be reshot for you. And again, if you've got any questions, email them in, and CL and I will try and answer as many as we can. Right, half the stock of the patterns have gone. We did stock up lots of them today. Calico. Now, remember I said we had thousands of this. How many have gone? Right, I know, There's more. I mean, it's just flying out. We've bought thousands this time, so hopefully you'll all be fine. Hopefully you'll all be fine. I mean, the most I've had was 500 one day, and that flew out, and this will do the same. I think what a lot of people are also doing is you're waiting because you don't want to be doing shopping while CL's giving out all her... We are going to have a 3-minute break in a second, so you can check out then. Or we're going on to another hour and another toile straight after this. People messaging in saying they're glued to their seat. They're just watching with such intensity. Right, fabric-wise, all of these fabrics are listed underneath there on the website. If you're watching us on the website, all these crepes are listed. They're 94% polyester, 6% spandex, and gorgeous, gorgeous colours. This is the only one that's... So these are all $6.99. So I've got sapphire, forest, I want to call amethyst, but it's called violet, fuchsia, samba, navy blue, kiwi, and kingfisher. They're the colours there. And then they're all $6.99. And then this one was $8.99, I think, wasn't it? Oh, $8.49, sorry. It's a slightly heavier... Get it right, there we go. A slightly heavier print, this one. It's lovely, though, isn't it? $8.49. Right, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. That was the tapered trouser show. In 3 minutes' time, we'll be doing these. These are the wide leg trousers. Now, you can either make them as a straightforward pair of palazzo pants, or if you're going to make them evening in the crepe, you can do that lovely drape going across the front. So go nowhere. Go nowhere. We'll be back in 3 minutes from now. Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
So today we're going to be learning the prick stitch. Now the prick stitch is very similar to a back stitch, and they're basically very tiny stitches which are visible on the front of the fabric and very long stitches on the back. So first of all, you need to start with the needle at the wrong side of the fabric, coming through to the front. And like I said, it's very similar to the back stitch where you're going to go backwards rather than forwards. And you want to make this stitch as tiny as possible. So taking a couple of strands from the fabric itself. And then the length of your prick stitch could be entirely up to you. So I'm going to make it quite a large one so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going through the fabric, and then I'm going to come back, again taking a couple of strands from the fabric to come down. You want to keep these as even as possible as you're going across the line. So there we have our prick stitch.
Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. Each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy to follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level. Throw kisses to the misses as we bring you a brand new stylish jacket pattern, the McCall's Mrs. Jacket. On Sunday, the 22nd of April at 8 AM, Amanda Wyatt is in the studio sharing her tips and tricks with you to make this wearable and comfy piece in some utterly divine crepe fabrics. This daywear jacket can be tweaked to perfection. Add flared sleeves, extend the jacket to skim you at mid-length, or crop it at the hip. From maroons to powder blue, we've put together a selection of linings and crepes to suit your outfit choice. So be sure to watch Amanda's jacket making workshop on Sunday, the 22nd of April at 8 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678. You see, I knew that would happen because she's fascinating, and she could watch it all day long. She's here for another 45 minutes, but she's back soon. She's back soon as well. We're making sure we're booking her in for as much as we can. all of you are checking out now, especially your calico. It's absolutely flying out the door. I've got thousands of units of it, but please don't rest on your laurels because it's more than I've ever had before. Everybody buys more than half a unit, half a metre, not half a unit, half a metre, £1.99 for half a metre. Remember, if you're buying on the web, remember 1 unit is half a metre. Right, 1 unit is half a metre. So if you want more than that, you just need to work that out. Okay, so please check out. Now, the trousers, I've got a still of these trousers that we're working on this hour. This is the pair of trousers we're working on this hour. Really gorgeous because they're day wear or evening wear. If you make them in the black crepe, maybe they'll be beautiful for evening wear. So I've got a pattern for these. Now, this one's different. I've got 2 size variations. I've got extra small to medium here, which is 4 to 14. As you can see, you can have them as different. You can just have them as wide palazzo pants if you want to, or you can have them with the wrap over, which is the one that CL's done here. So that's 4 to 14, £8.49. And then we have the other size, which is the large, extra large, and extra, extra large, 16 to 26. Brilliant size range, that. Because a lot of patterns stop, don't they? They think ladies stop at size 20. 16, they don't. 16 to 26, £8.49. Now I've got some Premier fabrics to show you as well. Gorgeous, gorgeous fabrics. I should really show you the red one that I've just shown you those trousers out of first. These are new to us. These are new linens. Now this is a lovely lightweight linen. Now, oh look, it's not 100% red. Well, it is, but it's 100% linen. It's 100% linen. Isn't that good? These are the ones that the trousers that CL's made already. Now, it is a more sheer fabric. So when you see them, they'd make a lovely summer weight trouser, but just be aware, don't wear spotty pants underneath them, that kind of thing. I'm just being honest. It's right, isn't it? Don't wear spotty pants. Oh, and yours won't come with a great big biro writing on the corner, you'll say that. So that's the red. It's a gorgeous way. Do you know what? This would make a lovely summer blouse weight as well, wouldn't it? When you wash this, it would be the most gorgeous. Oh, yes, go on. The GSM is... Oh, it is fine, 137, and the width is 50, oh, that's a funny one, 53 inches, 53 inches. So it's like a lightweight, it's like the equivalent of a lawn, like an equivalent of a lawn weight-wise, okay? So that's the red one. Then I've also got it in blue. Say it again. Oh, I think it said it's black. I was like, no, this is definitely blue. You can see if I hold it up, you can. It is a sheer linen, but once you've got it made into the trousers, it's not sheer, obviously. But I'm just telling you the truth because I want you to get it home thinking, oh, I've had their washed linen for. This is different to the washed linen. This is a lighter weight than the washed linen, but beautiful, beautiful weight. I think this will look, this is one of those linens that will look better and better and better with age. You know what I mean? This has got the dressing in and everything like that. Like I always say, I always wash fabrics before I make anything out of them. But this is gorgeous. Now, this one's a very natural, as they called it, natural. Oh, beige. I hate that word. This is beige. Very nickel fiery, isn't it, that one? No, they were Kenzo. When I was in Ethiopia, and when I left, I gave all my worldly belongings away to all the people who've been so lovely to us. And they were taking all my clothes. They were all picking my clothes and everything. And I had a pair of Kenzo linen trousers. And they picked them up, and they were all crunkled like that. And they always went, no, thanks. So I came home. All I had was the presents from them and my Kenzo linen trousers. And then they lost my suitcase. So, look, brand new. Brand spanking new. This is gorgeous, isn't it? Okay, it's 100% linen, and it's called mushroom. Oh, it's mushroom floral. So mushrooms, I was looking for mushrooms then. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Isn't that lovely? £5.99 for half a metre. 100% linen. Beautiful. This is going to drape beautifully. That would drape so beautifully. Look at that. Oh. Anyway, I'll get on. £5.99. £5.99 for half a metre. Is there anything else I need to show? Oh, yes, there's 2 crepes as well. Sorry, the crepe. Now, they're not the crepes from the last show. They were Samba crepes, which were polyester spandex. These are just pure polyester, I seem to remember, aren't they? Yeah. This is the triple crepe. Oh, that black and white top was made out of that I showed you earlier. Now, those trousers, the trousers I'm just about to show you in these, for evening wear, can you imagine how they're going to drape and how they're going to move as you arrive? Ooh, imagine on a summer breeze, you're at a garden party and there's that evening breeze. They're just going to waft, aren't they? Triple crepe in the black. And then we also have it in the, now, did they call it white or did they call it cream? It's like a wedding white, this one. Oh, ivory, there you go. Yeah, ivory. Think Pippa Middleton's bridesmaid's dress. Yeah, she was the bridesmaid, wasn't she? When she, you know, when the world, well, she looked amazing, didn't she? Anyway. Can't wait to this royal wedding. Never got my invite. No. So, shall we go and have a look at CO, and I'll take the pattern with me and we'll see these. Now, again, go over this side. You've done a toile in the, now you've not done the toile in the calico this time.
No.
You've actually used the linen show
just
them.
to sort of see how the drape would work with the shape and everything.
Yeah.
And you might notice that I haven't done the double row of stitching, and that's in case we need to do any adjustments. So I've just made the waistband because I need to have something, it's such a loose fit. And then I've just threaded a single layer of wide elastic.
If you don't want, if you're new to it, and you don't want to spend $5.99 for your toile, you could still make this as the calico, couldn't you?
Yeah, I would. I mean, normally I wouldn't have used the right fabric.
No,
It was just because it was a kind of lightweight and it was a beige colour.
So if at home, they don't thinking, oh, I want to do a toile out of the linen and then do it in the linen. You can do these in the calico as well.
In the calico. So these ones, I did adjust for height based on the measurements that Ria sent me.
Right.
So Ria and I were having a little chat, and Ria quite likes the idea of having them quite long. Do you think you'd wear them with a heel?
Yeah, probably would be.
Yeah, she said yes.
Yeah.
A quick question. Penny said, could she use the Samba crepe from the last hour to make these trousers as well? Or you could. All I'd say is never mix Samba crepe with triple weight crepe, only because they're two slightly different weights, and one's got more stretch in it. So they're perfect for making, whether you make triple crepe or the Samba crepe. So you could get these in that gorgeous fuchsia. Could you imagine these in that beautiful fuchsia crepe? Or you could make them in the triple crepe, but just don't mix the two.
I would say that black and white top would look ace in this linen.
Yeah, as well. So you could swap
so you could use those. Yeah. So then these are a little bit of an easier fit. We've got no pockets, although there is a sneaky pocket.
Oh, on one side.
On one side.
Now, hang on the pattern, if you don't want that drape, you can just make them into, let me show you here, you can just make them into like a palazzo pant, straightforward. You don't need to have the drape going across. You see, you can have them as a straightforward palazzo pant as well. So don't be thinking, oh, that wouldn't suit me. So when you make them into a trouser, just only have one pocket.
You put pockets.
On both sides.
Actually, maybe you do only have one because, anyway.
We'll look at that in a minute.
Right. So would you wear them this high, do you think? You said you quite like a high waist, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's probably a bit lower.
Yeah, so if we did want to do these a little bit lower, this is where I would kind of, I'm going to drop these to where Ria thinks she would wear them.
About there.
Yeah. How long's that T-shirt?
Showing off her lovely waist.
Yes.
And then can you see I have all this fullness here?
Yeah.
So this is how much I need to shorten the rise by. So I would pin all the way across. It's a little bit awkward with this little drape. And you would do this as a horizontal line straight across the pattern.
Now, if you want to take it down more at the front, at the back, can you do that? Does it have to be a line that goes all the way around? So you could take out this much at the front and then make it less as you go around the back.
Because it's quite nice. Women tend to prefer their trousers a little bit curved at the front. So we're just, and again, that horizontal line. So this is where my mirror comes in, because I'll be looking at my mirror. I can make sure that I'm not doing this.
Yes.
Because then I've
you want that horizontal line to stay horizontal.
So all of this, and then if I just turn you slightly, Ria.
Now, Are they quite a high waist already?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't think that anybody would need to extend it upwards, do you not think?
No.
No.
I mean, Ria's lovely and tall, and she's actually got quite a long rise. So I would say most of us are probably going to want to.
The rise is from, when you're sitting down, the rise is from where you sit down there up to your waist. That's the rise from there to there. So it's from your waist to the depth of your crutch, as it were. What do you say, Hannah? Yeah, the bit that's affected when you rise from a chair. There it is. Look. That's your rise there. So
this pair, if we wanted to alter these for Ria to wear out the weekend, we don't...
It's only Monday.
We wouldn't have to, because it's a straight pull-on trouser, the waist has to be the same as the hip.
Yes.
So I could just measure this and lock this off the top.
Oh, because it's...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So you don't have to think that you have to start again. So that's why working in this linen, in this project, you know, you're not having to start all over.
Oh, so you could have made your toile in this and then finished them and made your proper project.
So you just measure this and then slice it off the top.
Yeah, okay.
So again, like we did before, we're just kind of looking to see if we've got any wrinkles.
Is this a separate section?
It is.
Because a lot of these trousers normally go to the top, you turn them over, but that's actually a waistband that's stitched on. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect. So you could lose all of this into that seam there.
But you could also decide, I personally, on me, I have a short rise. I think this double elastic waistband is a bit high. I don't like a deep waistband. I could just make the pattern smaller, so I could have a single. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then that's a bit of a lighter finish at the waist. Yes. So it's kind of yours to do what you want with, really. Yes, because a lot of people, me, if you've got a belly, you don't want more gathering. No. Don't want more gathering. You almost want it flatter at the front and put all the gathering around the back. And actually, if you have a little tummy like me, when I tried these on, I quite liked this wrap because it sort of gave a bit of interest away from from your waist. Yes, exactly. So it is a really flattering shape. And then lengthwise, I think I'd be happy with that if Ria was get very muddy. What you go to a garden party, but you would probably have a heel on, wouldn't you, for this sort of a trouser? But if we did want to shorten these, then the reason I've done my tacking on the the reason I've done the tacking on the outside is I can really quickly pull out all these stitches without like spending ages on my hand inside the leg. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to make a... Okay. So one little trick when you're shortening... Don't look down. Shortening a hem is it's kind of hard to roll it up inside. Yes. So whenever I'm shortening a hem, I always turn the excess to the outside. Yep. And then I'm going to get the fold to sit. So John's the designer here, guys. Wow. I'm just a technician. Where would you have the hem, John? A bit higher than you've gone there. A bit higher? Yeah. Oh, it's nice to have a bit of a break. Well, it depends what you're wearing them with. Oh, okay. It's up to, you know, the customer. Well, where would the customer like the break without looking? Oh, you can look down. No, because every time you look down, you make the trousers longer, you see. So this is the one reason why, if you're fitting at home, stand in front of a mirror to do this, because your temptation is that you want to keep looking down and it gets longer. But even if you're fitting someone else, fit in front of the mirror, because you could then stand upright and you could see that the length was the right. If those graphics weren't there, you could actually see the length of those. Now, take the graphics out, then we can pretend we're in a mirror. You see, that's the kind of length CL's pinning them at now. Okay. So I'd pin all the way around. Yeah. And sometimes I do both legs. Today I'm just going to do one. Oh, no, and I always do both legs. No, only because none of us are perfect, are we? No. And also, how do I say this? If you're doing boys' trousers, you have to do both legs. I can't say anything else. It's only 10:28 in the morning, and I could quote my tailoring tutor, Victor, but I won't. No, well, it's to do with how somebody dresses. Thank you. That's the best way of putting it. Yeah. Oh. Now, another little thing. If can you pretend that this hip's a little bit higher? Just
Just don't,
so if somebody had a hip
That's it.
higher on one side than the other, that would affect the length of the trouser. So when you're doing your initial assessment, you'd kind of look at them. So I'm always looking at people on the tubes and going, ooh, you know, and seeing.
And you get arrested at the other end.
But what you can do, if you do have a hip higher, and most of us have a hip one slightly higher, you can use this rise to adjust it so optically it looks the same.
Yes.
So if I notice somebody is a bit wonky, sorry,
Yes.
which Rhea isn't, we could take more on the side that's wonky,
Yeah.
and then optically that would look perfectly straight.
Yeah.
So
Just make sure they don't wear a stripy t-shirt.
yeah.
If they're wearing a stripy t-shirt going in and suddenly run down at the end. But also, posture these days isn't what it was. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I've noticed the difference when I've fitted costumes in London and fitted costumes in Paris, because Parisian ladies carry themselves so well, and we've turned into a bit of a I'm the same, because I spend my whole hour slouched on the table talking to a guest there, and you end up creating all sorts of shapes that shouldn't really be there.
Great.
Okay.
So that's a kind of, there's not that many adjustments. The next thing would be to ask the customer, the designer, about the shape of the leg. So this is a very straight leg trouser. And it may be that you wanted to taper them a little bit, which is fine. On a trouser like this, I wouldn't taper too high up, because we can't really take this pattern and make it like a taper leg.
No.
It's going to affect the grain and everything. So we could just bring that in if you wanted to, but you said you quite liked a wide leg.
Yeah, but
Teeny bit in?
yeah, teeny bit.
Oh, we're halfway through the hour, Ree. You're supposed to say no, it's fine. The only thing I would say is if somebody's an apple shape and they like it tapered in, no offence now, but it's going to accentuate. I only know because my mum was apple shaped and she used to love straight leg jeans. I'd say, but mum, look at the shape it's creating. So if you take it too narrow at the bottom, you're then creating that kind of shape. And so I used to put my mum in boot cut jeans all the time, only because it would then balance out her appleness. An apple, for those of you who don't know, it's basically pear-shaped is like that, hourglass shape is like that, and that's an apple, you know, a little round circle, which is when you don't accentuate the waist unless you have to.
So when I'm pinning in to taper a leg, so if Rhea was looking in the mirror, she might, or even the designer, she might not really understand that this line is where we're going to sew.
Yes.
So a little optical trick is
yes.
just take the seam allowance that you've adjusted and pin it flat.
Oh, yes. Because a lot of people, like when you work with directors or a lot of people, can't visualise something finished, and they'll look at that and go, oh, but they're the same width that they were when you started. Whereas if you do that, you're actually creating the new line.
So all I've done is I've taken the flap that I'm sort of adjusting, and I've put a pin to hold it to the back. And it just means that you can kind of see the silhouette a bit better.
Yeah. Just wait for your hair to come out.
Sorry.
There you go, there you go, there you go.
So that would give you more of an idea about what the new shape is going to be like. Yeah?
Exactly. Okay.
And we're happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah?
Right, I'm going to go and recap fabrics and everything, and then we'll go through the pattern and everything like that. Thank you, Rhea, very much indeed. I'll just come over here and recap the pattern. The pattern comes in two sizes. This is the small one. That's going across the bottom. The 4 to 14 is going across the bottom, and then the 16 to 26 is going across the side there. You've got variations of pattern in there, whether you do them shorter, longer, with the wrap, without the wrap. It's up to you. All of those are in there. And again, all the information you need is on the... we did ask for all of these to be photographed with the flap out, but some of them will have been done before we asked that, because I know we've made these trousers before. £8.49. The fabric that then... Oh, the toile, first of all. Shall I do the calico first? Oh, except you didn't use calico. But the calico is flying out, just need to warn you. Because lots of people don't just use calico for toiles. It's an awful lot of things you can use it for. The back of quilts, the back of cushions, all sorts of things. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's £1.99 for half a metre. It's gorgeous. I love the smell of calico. It obviously hasn't been... This is not washed calico, this, because you can still smell the smell. Beautiful. £1.99 for half a metre. OK, so I'll put that one there. Then I've got the linens, right? The linen, the red linen, that CL made the sample trousers out of. Now, it is a finer linen, this. You can see there. It's not a gauze, but it's not a heavyweight linen. £3.99 for half a metre, 100% linen. So now it looks really, really pristine there, but linen, it's going to crease. It will do this. Linen creases. So this shows how you can tell. 100% linen, look, because it's going to crease. It will crease. People know that when you wear linen, it's going to crease. Okay, so that's the red. Then I've got it in the blue. Gorgeous blue, this one. It's called navy, which I can see is most popular. It's kind of got an almost petrol-y blue to it. As you can see, it is a finer linen, but it's 100%. What was it, 150 the weight? You see, look, it is going to crease. It will crease. Oh, 137, that was it. 137 is the weight. So really, really beautiful there. And then last but not least in the linens, I've got the beige. It's funny, the beige doesn't seem to be quite as diaphanous. No, it's the same weight, but it doesn't seem to be much see-through, does it? £3.99 for half a metre, £3.99. Then, these are all brand new to us today, by the way. Brand new. Then, of course, I've got the mushroom floral. Again, it's 100% linen. There you go. Got it upside down. Look, isn't that beautiful? £5.99 for half a metre, that one. That's got a lovely drapeability about it. That one feels like it's a washed one. That one feels it hasn't got the dressing in that the red and the blue and the beige had. Okay, then I've got two linens. I'm rushing because I want you to see more of CL than you do see of me in this hour, but got the two linens here. We have the black. Now, this is triple crepe. This isn't the same as the linen I showed you in the last hour. Oh, sorry, what did I say? Oh, sorry, crepe. Sorry, I meant something. This is black triple crepe. 100% polyester. £6.49 for half a metre. It's beautiful, isn't it? So also, if you want to make these trousers in the Samba crepe from the last show, that's perfectly possible. Just don't mix the two different crepes, that's all. Then this is the ivory. Do you know, I think that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? I almost would want to maybe trim it, make them in the ivory and trim it in the black, or want the other way around. Okay, so that's all the fabrics. So, CL can come back in now, and we'll just go through, because we've only got, well, less than 20 minutes to go through everything to do with that pattern. Come on in. Okay. Over half the calico's gone. I told you, we're not even at the end of the live show. So if you're watching on the repeat, make sure you come in and get it. Right.
So what I would suggest, if you've never made trousers before and you fancy making these, because that's just a regular pattern, so yes, it doesn't really have a lot of fit instructions, I would suggest buying the tapered trouser pattern.
Oh, I haven't got that here.
Because it's got so many great fitting tips.
Right, so the tapered trousers, you can alter them to fit you perfectly, but they do come, because they're a fitted pattern, they do come with sheets of all this interest. So this is this pattern here that we had in the last hour, £8.99, which goes from an 8 to a 24, but it does come not only with the pattern pieces, but all of this information, which you're going to use forever.
Yeah, so it's an extract from a book, and you kind of got everything that you need in here. So some of these things are the things that we talked about in the last hour.
The smiley and the frown.
So yeah, and then kind of the pin fitting. So this is an illustration to show how you would do that without stitching.
That one there, the pin fitting there, yeah.
This is that adjustment that I've just done to rear. So there's too much kind of
fullness
fabric or too much length in the fabric between there and there.
Yeah.
And then the elastic trick that I showed you. So this is popping the elastic and then drawing it up or dropping the trouser to get the waistline that you want. And then this was a little bit of what I had on rear.
Yeah.
Can you see that there's these vertical folds?
That's the frown.
Or frowns. And that's just because there's too much fault. So what they do here is they tell you how to fix this.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I would say is this is a little bit like having a headache and going on to Google, and you suddenly find all these things. So no one's going to have all of these fit adjustments.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know, when you...
It's like, when's the headache come into this?
No, but you know when you go...
No, don't do
you
that.
misdiagnose yourself.
Yeah.
So, you know, you probably, the first time, just think a little bit about the width of the hips and whether you've got too much length, and don't get obsessed with a perfect fit straight away.
No.
People get really, really obsessed. I do. That's what my...
But that's your job.
Yeah, and it's also what my master's degree is in.
Yeah.
I'm working on fit. So then we've got, there's a little bit about the darts, and they're showing you that trick here about contouring and then changing the apex.
So even if you're not thinking you're making these trousers just yet, you still get all of these tips within it. That's this pattern here.
It's a great basic, and it's much cheaper than buying a book.
Well, exactly. And all the skills on here you can transfer to any other trousers that you make.
So what's really nice here, and as a pattern maker you'll understand, because often people think that all of these adjustments need to be straight lines, but can you see how that's curved?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so it's not a curve coming up here because we've got this seam allowance there. And then the other thing that they've got, which I'm going to show you in a second, so when you've pinned in and you want to take in, they're showing you how to mark up where those pins are.
Yeah.
I might show you my lazy girl trick.
Oh, okay.
Might.
Don't do what I did. And when I was doing the Seven by Brothers, I did all the fittings and marked them all with red felt pen. And then, of course, sewed them all together, and half the red felt pen you could see through the frocks. So I had to start all over again. Anyway.
Okay, so another great thing about this pattern is this is a trick that I use when I'm fitting a waistband.
Right.
So I put a Peter shim on these just for stability.
Yeah.
But often what I do is I cut my waistband pattern and I cut it to the longest size, and they're telling you how to do this here. And I interface it because there's something called turn of cloth, which is how much extra fabric you need to wrap around if it's thick. And it's really hard to work that out. So you interface it, fold it into basically make a waistband, fit that, and then use that as your waist measurement and make the trousers ease onto the waistband.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, and what you can also do once you fit it, like they've done here, is you can put a mark where the side seam joins the waistband.
Oh, yes,
and another
yes.
mark.
Create your own notches.
Yeah, and so that way, because what I find when I need to adjust a pattern, can you see all the notches? So if you need to let the trousers out, you've got to remove all the notches.
Yeah, the notches won't match up.
So I just ignore them and I do this little trick.
Yeah, perfect.
Which is,
I mean, we're all saying when we're cutting out the patterns, make sure the notches are there for a reason, there for a reason. But if you know, like this is to fit, you know that if a waistband moves or you let something out, then all the notches aren't then going to work out. So you have to create your own notches on the new pattern then.
So I just think it's a great way to learn about fitting. And trousers can be a bit complicated to fit because we've got lots of different curves, but this is going to really hold your hand, and they've got great instructions.
Brilliant.
So should we have a little look at what I did on this?
Oh, Christine's very excited. Wonderful fabrics. All I can say is roll on payday. Christine from Durham.
Treat yourself, Christine. This is going to be really bad for me working here because all I do is then go home and look at all the fabrics that I do. Okay, so I'm going to use...
So this is going back to the tapered trouser, but this is a skill that you can transfer from different trousers, or different pattern to different pattern. It doesn't have to be trousers.
And the reason I'm going to show you on these is because I don't want to draw over that lovely linen, because that pair of trousers could be adjusted, and then Ria's got a nice pair of trousers. So we've got all of these lines here that I've marked. So I marked them with a chalk, and if you want to mark a garment that isn't a toile, to transfer these markings where I want to take this in, I would turn it inside out, and then I open up the seam where the pin is.
So that's the other side there is the pin, isn't it? Yeah.
And you kind of slightly hold that at tension, and then get whatever marking tool you like, and you mark, put a little bit of chalk in there.
Yeah. This is where I did the red felt pen.
Okay, turn this over, whoops. And then, because you've got two sides to the seam, and then put a little bit of chalk like that. Okay. Now, if you're using a toile,
Can I also just say that what I would also do, so I'm doing a whole thing like that, I would do the occasional line going straight across, because when you unpick it, you don't know where exactly they're going to join up.
So one of the benefits of doing a toile, for people like me and John, who have to make lots of things really quickly, you can draw on the outside, because this is going to become part of my new pattern. So, and occasionally what I do is I stitch these and then I just cut along the stitching, because I can create a nice smooth with a stitch line. So I'm going to mark wherever the pin is.
Yes.
And remember where I said about that ease? So I know I want to take a bit of that ease off.
Yeah.
So I'm marking in between and I'm marking on the pins. Now
so in effect, you're drawing in your new seam line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're used to home sewing patterns, you're going to need to think about using your patchwork ruler to add seam allowance back in.
Yes.
So it's really important before I take these pins out that I turn over and mark this side. So again, you're just marking, and this is why I do that little stitch.
Yes, because also sometimes you're just going to take in from one side, not the other.
Yeah.
So you just need to leave one seam where it is and then mark the other side.
So if this was somebody with a wonky hip, then I would mark the left and the right side of the body separately.
Yes.
But because Ria has such a great figure, we don't need to do that. And then I might think about any of these folds, just marking what I've done. So this is almost like a dart wedge.
But you know you're not going to be sewing this.
No,
this is just
I'm not going to just take that. I might have done when I first graduated. But
yeah, we've all done things like that.
So you kind of go around and you transfer all your marks.
Yes.
And then I've got that hip point, no, the calf point. Where did I draw my line? So as a fitter, I try and always work on one side of the body, which I haven't done. So this is where this might seem a bit scary, because what I have done, that seam wasn't hanging straight.
This is your inside leg seam coming down here.
Yeah.
And this is where CL marked that it wasn't quite hanging properly.
So I'm just going to true this, and don't worry that my lines are a little bit wobbly, because we would true all of this up once we've. So I'm coming into there and about the calf. So if you want to find out where your knee is, if I fold my ankle to my inseam, that's about your knee point.
Unless you've got legs like mine.
Well, most of us don't have long femurs and short calves. Your leg would still be about halfway, your knee. There's a rough line.
No, because look, I've got, from my knee down to my foot is way, look at how little that is. Oh, that looks really rude. So I was put here, there to there is really little.
But that will give you, and so my calf is somewhere between here and here.
Yes.
But I can't find the mark that I put on. It's probably on that side. Yeah? So then we're going to do a little bit of dismantling.
Yes.
And
this is where it's really important, before you do this, make sure that every pin has a felt pen mark on it, because once you've unpinned it, that's it, you're done.
Sometimes, if you're using older pins, you might end up with holes that you can see.
Yes.
So I am going to literally just going to cut on this line.
Oh, you do it completely differently to me.
So I'm just used to having to get everything back on stage really quickly.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to slice through my waistband, so through all the seam allowance. So this...
It will be in a second, Hannah. Hannah's like, oh, so that's your pattern piece. Yeah, Hannah, give it a minute.
So this is now my stitching line.
It's not your pattern piece because you've got no seam allowance on there, whereas on the pattern, you had seam allowance. So what you then need to do...
And then, because sometimes life's too short for unpicking.
Yes.
I'm just going to, if I cut right on, so this is my super lazy girl trick.
Yeah, I'll show you my method in a minute.
I'm going to cut right on my stitching. Up to where...
It's not very quiet.
There's only me and you. You're supposed to be distracting me with jokes and anecdotes.
No,
You're horrified, aren't you? There we go. So I've opened out that leg now. get rid of all of these bits. I would probably just cut my hem off.
Yeah. Mine is almost the same. What I would do is where my pins were. Can I borrow your felt pen a minute?
Yeah.
So say these are my. Say that's my pin line there and there. What I would do is, you said life's too short. I would actually unpick that seam, and then I know that my actual sewing line is, it's the same as yours, but
exactly.
I'm just too frightened to cut it off as quickly as you were, that was all.
And, you know, I do a lot of fitting. I used to work for a catalogue company doing alterations, so you have to do things. I might get 100 pieces a day to alter for a shoot. So then here, so this is what I showed you before, you know, we need to add. So by just cutting the line directly, I've already added to the front.
Yeah,
so
that's,
the stitching stays in there.
Okay, so this is at the length of the trouser where we wanted to add some fabric onto the back.
Yeah.
So what the CL's done is she's actually cut along the new line, so it means that we're adding more fabric to the front, sorry.
Yeah.
So that's your original seam line there, and we've just cut up the line that CL has marked, so that means that now was this the front? Yeah, the front of the trouser is now wider, which is where you wanted the extra fabric to go.
But then I would grab my felt, because I knew my calf was a bit tight at the back. Yeah. So I need to add, so I often give myself a little arrow or some strange, I don't know what that mark is. Yeah. Yeah. I want to give myself a little bit of extra width.
On the back
On the back only.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then this is where we're thinking about, we're probably gonna need, it's about ½ an inch there, isn't it? So I might mark that there. But obviously this is kind of rough and ready because I've just chopped it.
Yes.
Yeah. What I would then do is grab my original
So this
pattern.
bit here, where you had that ½ an inch, you've added there rather than taken away. Is that right?
Because it feels like it's too tight.
That's right, yeah. I couldn't remember. See, this is where it's important for the person who's pinned it, because if you'd given that to me, I thought, oh, it needs...
Taking it in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's a bit of kind of trial and error, and fitting is an art, not a science.
Yes. Also, if it's calico like this, don't feel when the actress or the person making it, you put an arrow there going, this needs letting out. You know, write notes all over the calico and draw all over the calico.
So sometimes, particularly in the fashion industry, the person fitting doesn't really understand about patterns, and so they, as a garment technologist, they need to learn how to fit for somebody else to fix it. Yes. So they might go, you know, I said that thigh was too tight. Yeah. So they would take pictures during the fitting, and you might write tight, and they kind of pinch that because it fixed it, and then your pattern cutter would adjust it.
Because when I did big shows, I'd be making the ladies' dresses, I would cut the pattern, get it ready for first fitting, fit it on the actress, and then have to pass it over to Carol in the other room, who then adapted it and made. She's now head of costume at the National Theatre.
Oh, is that Carol?
Lingwood. Yeah, do you know Carol Lingwood? She used to be my assistant at York. She did very well. She went to the Opera House and then went to the National Theatre. Now she's very, very big in costumes. Anyway, we've only got about 3 minutes. You're just cutting the actual seams now to create the pattern shape again.
So you have two choices here. If you've only made a few little tweaks, we can take our original pattern. So this is the way that I was taught with these folds. Yep. We used to kind of do things like this, and then you'd pin it, and you put a piece of paper underneath, and you'd release it.
Right.
So you could see what was occurring. So essentially, it is kind of a bit of taking in, but also there was something tight around here. So it's a bit of both. Maybe that we need to shorten this a little bit. Yeah. And then I would either lay this onto my pattern piece.
The original pattern piece.
The original. Mark my new stitching line, and again...
But would your original pattern piece be wide enough because you've come out from it, so you need to add a piece of paper that you've got over there?
Well, you could add a piece of paper. What I suggest you do is get some pattern paper. Start again.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
So here, just going to cut through my stitching. Yeah. Nice and casual-like. I'm going to follow John's adjustment here.
Yeah.
Right, so
And then back up, yeah.
all the way up. Trim this off. Now, remember I said that there's an extra inch inlay on here, and I'd need to unpick that. I can't really do a lazy. Well, maybe I could.
Go on then, because you've only got 2 minutes. So.
2 minutes. So that's the waistline.
Yeah.
And
then you couldn't cut. You're going to cut the dart out as well.
Yeah, because I'm making a new pattern.
Yeah.
John's horrified.
No, I think it's fantastic because I'm learning because I've never done it like that before.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is turning into your new pattern piece. So it's wider here.
Yeah.
With all the alterations on it, yeah.
Fresh piece. Let's imagine the table is a fresh piece of paper.
Yeah.
So get this nicely anchored. So we've got the grain line mark.
Yeah.
So we know that we don't want to mess with that too much.
Just use the pattern paper that we sell in the one with either the squares on or the plain one that we sell. It's called tracing paper here, I think.
I always remind myself, add seam allowance.
You see, I don't do that because I never ever cut a pattern with seam allowance.
I know, but for you guys at home, you want to think about the seam allowance.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah?
Ignore me.
So if we look here, that's a little bit of a dog leg, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I would probably just smooth this off, and on the paper, once I've anchored it, and I'd normally give this a little press.
Yeah.
On the paper, I'd get my French curve and do a really nice curve.
Yeah. Because that's your inside seam. And have we released this yet or not before?
I'd put the extra, so we can get rid of that.
Yeah.
I think this angle needs to change slightly.
Yeah. But things like that will come with
come later.
experience.
And then, again, you do a nice smooth curve. And then you take your ruler, so I'm not sure that these are the best ones, but the French curve.
Quarter, French curve, yeah.
So you use this. Say I want to put a half. Is that a half? That's a half inch.
We've got the French. The French seam. The French curve will be underneath the picture as soon as we finish this show.
So I use both straight rulers like this and French curves. So I'd follow this around and add my seam allowance.
Your 5/8 seam allowance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would give myself what I call balancing points. So the hip point's always a notch.
Yeah.
That's always a notch. That would be a notch. You can have
and you
many
transfer
notches.
that onto the other side as well, yeah?
Well, then we're going to do what's called walking. So I do the same thing with the back.
Okay. What I might do is I might recap these fabrics in my next hour, if that's all right, just because I want to get as many minutes out of sale as I can.
So...
No, that sounded wrong, but do you know what I mean? They'd rather listen to you talking than me recapping fabrics. That's all.
Let's pretend I've trimmed this all down.
Yeah.
So this is all nice and flat too. Before I add in my seam allowance, you do something called walking the seam, which is basically making sure that they're the same length.
Oh, yes, because when you've pinned it like that, one of them might have been pinned slightly differently and one could be longer than the other one.
So you can usually see where your original balance marks. So like you said, it's a good idea to do this before you start cutting through it. So I might think, well, that goes to there, and make sure you match the notch.
Yeah.
And you just kind of walk the edges together, making sure you've got notches. And this is after you've trued.
Yeah.
And then you can see that they kind of work.
Right. I have to stop you.
Yeah. That's it. We just add the seam allowance.
That's it. No, it was brilliant. It's so fascinating, isn't it? It's something that is frightening, but actually when it's explained to you so well, it's just fantastic. All I'm going to recap in this hour are this trouser pattern, very quickly, which is going across the bottom of your screen at the moment. That's the one that comes, it's a fitting pattern. Remember, you've got your inch seam allowance on your side seams and your waist and your inner seam. And you get all of those instructions, well, £8 and 10 pence. It goes from an 8 to a 24. And then the other pattern, very, very quickly, is this one, which are those gorgeous trousers that we did, TL did in the red linen. And that's going to come across the bottom. You're back in on Friday, aren't you?
Saturday.
Oh, is it Saturday?
I hope it's Saturday.
OK, Saturday. That was right then. That's your other trousers coming up there. And we're going to do just another CL masterclass, aren't we, really?
Yeah, maybe we could do pockets or mock flies.
Maybe. Right, the French curve and trace paper will be underneath the auction as we go for a break now. Thank you so much. It's
Thanks
fantastic.
for having me. It was your idea, this, wasn't
it was brilliant. It's brilliant. It just takes me having to do it. And you're better at it than me. Don't go anywhere because I've got something coming up after the break. Oh, nautical but nice. So go nowhere. I'll see you in 3 minutes from now.
Bye.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts. There ain't no mountain high enough for Lucy Brennan as she shares with us her fabulous forest mountain quilt. Our expert quilt maker Lucy Brennan will show us how she sets about crafting this striking 74-inch quilt using her trusted Creative Grids rulers. The result is a glorious geometric forest filled with beautiful triangular trees. We've handcrafted a selection of styles to suit your home. Choose from cappuccino and steely greys for a crisp and modern feel. Feel perfectly pink with our quilt kit filled with ports, purples and flamingo hues. Or go for greens and create your own forest masterpiece with emerald, pistachio and spearmint solids. So don't miss Lucy's Forest Mountain Quilt on Thursday the 19th of April at 11 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Hi, I'm Victoria Peat and here are my top tips. My first tip is when dressmaking is to wash your fabrics. As soon as you get home or as soon as it arrives in the post, stick it in the wash. Wash it as you would do with the finished garment, get it ready so that when you're ready to sew, you're ready to go. My next tip is posture. When you're sitting at your sewing machine, particularly when you're doing something like quilting, pay attention to how you're sitting in the chair, because quite often when you're really concentrating on quilting, you have a tendency to hunch, and before you know it, you'll end up with a bad back. So my last tip is to not sew when you're tired. So many times I've sewn when I'm tired and I make mistakes, and you find yourself unpicking or wasting fabric. Sew when you're nice, ready and fresh.
Sewing Quarter is the UK's first TV channel dedicated to sewing and quilting. On air and behind the scenes, our team of top industry experts work hard to bring you tons of exciting projects. Whether you're into dressmaking, bag making, piecing, patchworking or quilting, you'll learn something new every day from our talented guest designers and fabulous presenters. Our online shop is packed with tools, haberdashery essentials and fabulous fabrics, from simple solids to designer gems. And with our 30-day money-back guarantee and single daily postage charge, you can shop with confidence. So tune in daily on Freeview 78, Sky Channel 678 and shop online at sewingquarter.com.
Sewing Quarter are excited to announce that we are supporting World Craft Week. Starting on the 16th of April, World Craft Week is all about celebrating our love of crafting. This year, sew along during the week-long campaign and show your support for a great cause, Bliss, a charity that supports premature and sick babies. If you visit www.worldcraftweek.com, you will be able to get your hands on a free copy of the World Craft Week Digimag. The magazine is packed with 23 beautiful baby projects and patterns to inspire you to get sewing during World Craft Week. Visit www.worldcraftweek.com for more information and get crafting during World Craft Week on the 16th to the 27th of April.
Love Patchwork and Quilting is the best-selling modern quilting magazine that shares your passion for fabric. We publish 13 times a year, featuring must-make projects, essential techniques, interviews, news and reviews from the world of modern quilting. Every issue comes with a free gift.
Oh my word, weren't they 2 brilliant hours? She's so talented, isn't she? Right, I've got to tell you something. That sounds very dramatic. There's a law change or something like that. I've got to be very serious and tell you this because it's a... Go to our website, right? You know how we send you... I was just telling Hannah, it's happened in my vets as well. If I explain what's happened in my vet, then I'll be able to explain what happens here. They send me emails to tell me when Norman and Nellie need their medicals or when they need to come in to be wormed or something like that. I now have to fill in a form saying, yes, it's all right for you to send me emails about Norman and Nellie. Of course I'm going to have to. Well, the same applies to us here. So if you go to the website Any promotion that we normally send you, you have to re-sign up to our email list. So now, you see where there's me. Oh, look at my tummy on there. Look really fat, don't I? Anyway, I'm resting it on the table, apparently. You see that spinny thing? That one's not spinning at the moment, but it's in... Oh, there you go. It's in that spinny bit there. What you need to do is click on Sign Up Now. Now, even if you've already signed up for our email list, you have to do it again. It's by law. Now, I can't tell you to do it. I can't tell you to do it, only if you want to do it. But what will happen is we'll get to a certain date when the old list will be discarded, and only the people who've re-signed will get the offers, the promotions, telling you when I'm going on my holiday, all that sort of thing. If you don't have the internet, right, if you don't work on the internet, you can ring the call centre and they'll help you because they can tick the box for you, I believe. But it's, so if, I can't tell you have to do it, right? You don't have to do it, right? But if you don't do it, you won't be receive, after a certain date, you won't receive all our promotions. You know, like when we let you know that we're having a spend and save day, or when we let you know there's a special guest coming on, or if Kaif's coming on, or a special weekend or anything like that, we won't be able to send them to you. So when that date comes, I think it's the end of the month. I think the vet said it was the end of this month. When that date comes, the old list will just be completely deleted and you won't hear from us again. So you need to re-sign if you want to carry on receiving all our promotions and emails and things like that. All right? Is that all right? Right. Now, I was going to recap the fabrics from the last tab, but I want to show you this first. Brand new. Brand new. Brand new. Brand new. I love a bit. We love a panel. We love a bunting. And how beautiful this, these are gorgeous for the summer. Now we sell it, this is a panel, so it'll be 60 centimetres by 112 centimetres. £7.49. Look at these. Do you know who's going to like these? Davinia. Davinia will love these. So you've got seahorses, beach huts, I'll catch up, icons, sail, a seahorse with a stripy background, not a windmill, lighthouse, seagulls, town centre. Yeah, then there we've got anchors. We've got a seahorse in its own habitat. We've got icons on white. We've got a little, oh, now isn't that a RNLI one? You know what I mean? I don't know, I can't say that, can I? Exactly. Joe, are you watching? Your boy likes things like that. Starfish. Lighthouse, why won't that word stick in my brain? Why is that? Oh, it looks like that, from here it looks like that's flying. Toss yachts, and then we've got a lovely little beach hut there, which sell for a fortune these days, don't they? That's lovely. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 pennants. So you can either make 16 if you back them with something else, or 8 if you back them with each other. Aren't they lovely? Beachcomber bunting paddle by McCall, 100% cotton, machine washable. Oh, here we go. Hannah's now. Hannah, when Karen moved in, she said, can I put this bunting up in the bathroom? It is eau-de-coated. And Hannah went, I am not having bunting in my bathroom. She's going to buy this, eau-de-coat it, and make bunting for the bathroom. How she's changed. How she's changed. I'm just not resting my tummy on the desk. Here we go. £7.49. Lovely, isn't it? Loads going in baskets. What I also love is, look here. Look at that selvage there. Pardon? Oh, my word. Right. There's almost too many people got that in their baskets. If you definitely want it, I'm hoping... is Harriet in? Harriet! Order more now. Order more now, Harriet, if you're watching. I just thought she might come in and see me. Anyway, Harriet is not scared of me. I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared of Harriet, I have to say. She's the one that in the office, she's like this, hard face. Party time, gold Lurex, hair up, woo! You know what I mean? Right, where am I going first? Oh, I'll recap my fabrics from the last 2 hours very, very quickly. So let's start with, we've got Samba crepe. Now this is 94% polyester, 6% spandex. These are the ones that the first trousers were made out of, the taper trousers made out of. You could make the other trousers out of this. You could make the two-tone top that Amanda made last time out of this. So, oh, there's the trousers. There's, oh, sorry. Not my belly. There's the trousers. So there you go. They are the sapphire stretch sample. Who? Oh, Biddy. Oh, she's messaged in. I met Biddy at Utoxeter. Loads of people. Angie came to me, she went, the main thing they're all talking about, John, is how much thinner you are in real life and how much younger you look in real life. So I don't really look this haggard or this fat in real life, apparently. Here we go. Forest green. Forest green. Do you know when you go off somebody big time? Not you, Biddy, not you, my love. You can see a picture of Biddy on Facebook fans page, because where's our picture, if you want to. Anyway, that's gorgeous, that green. Very rich, isn't it, that one? Then I've got violet. Oh. What's that? You can make both trousers pants out of it. Yeah, I said that. I love it the way that my producer listens to me. She went to the Hayley School of Producing, because Hayley used to be my producer where we worked before, you see, before she went an upper rung on the ladder. £6.99. She's not in today, it's fine. Who was on the phone earlier then? Oh, it was Hayley from home. Okay, £6.99 for half a metre. Half a metre. Then I've got the fuchsia. Oh, I love this one. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? This is still the Samba stretch crepe, this one. In the fuchsia, £6.99 for half a metre. That's lovely. Imagine all the things. Oh, anyway. Kingfisher. Le Kingfisher. I know we're meant to be off to the seaside, just recapping, because I thought it was really important in the last hour to squeeze every ounce of knowledge out of CL. £6.99. Then I've got kiwi. No, I think it's, is it an overripe kiwi, would you say? Oh, no. No, I'm just saying, look, gorgeous in trousers, but I'm just honest with you, right? Unless you've got olive skin or a darker skin tone, this colour, and I'm full of makeup today, look, this colour does you no favours. What I'm going to say is, by all means, make a top out of it, but trim it. Hang on, I've gone off kilter a bit here, but trim it in the navy blue. Then you haven't got the green or the ochre. See, look, see how much different, see how different that looks. So gorgeous. If you make that the main body and then just trim it in a navy blue. But just if you put that, look, it just washes out. I'm just being honest. I'm being told off now for saying that, but it's gorgeous. Anyway, what's next? Have I done the navy? I've done navy. So now I've got salsa. Salsa. That's the last one of these. Pardon? £6.99. The dance. Oh, right. Ginger Mike said he loves salsa, but I didn't know if he meant to dance or to eat. You know Martin Lewis? You know Martin Lewis, the money man, right? He's an award-winning salsa dancer. That's where he met his wife. And she's gorgeous. She's completely gorgeous. Right, now this one's a little bit different. This one's heavier. It's still a stretch crepe. It's got more weight to it, this one. £8.49 for half a metre, this one. This is Misty Blue Meadow. It's still a Samba crepe, so it's still got the stretch in it. It's still got the spandex in it. But it's that much, much heavier. You wouldn't use this one for a top, I wouldn't have thought. You'd use it for the trouser or dress. Oh, do you know what? What's her name? Von Furstenberger. Diane von Furstenberger, wrap dress in that. I can't believe you just said that. Hannah's just gone, who's she? She's the lady who is the champion of wrap over dresses in crepe, Diane von Furstenberger. Place my first order delivery, should be today. Learning so much from this channel. Thank you so much. Regards, Angie. Right, now they were all the those crepes. Now I've got some linens. Oh, that's a calico. And some triple crepe. I'll do the crepes last. Let me do the linens first. So this, or you can make the trouser out of all of them, but I wouldn't mix triple crepe with salsa crepe, that's all. So this is the red linen. Now, as you can see, it's 137 GSM, this. It's a lovely lightweight, but you saw in the red trousers how gorgeous it looked in those. And now, now, if you've bought our wash linen, our enzyme wash linen, or our wash linen from us, that was a much heavier weight than this. This is 137 GSM. But as you can see, you can sort of see through. But when you made those trousers, they were so full of fabric. If you're going to make a blouse, all you're going to have to do is either wear a cami underneath it or just do a gathered yoke, so it's kind of fuller there, that's all. OK, so that's the red one. That is bright red. That is a bright, bright red. Then I've got it in the navy. Now, remember, it's 100% linen. The reason this bit here is creases, because I showed you that it will crease. People know that linen creases. $3.99 for half a metre, that's the navy. 100% linen, so it's made with flax. Lovely. Then I've got it in beige, which I'd call natural myself. Ooh. What was that noise for, Hannah? Hannah went, Hannah went, oh, and then stopped. That's the beige. She knows, you see, we've only got 45 minutes till we get in that office, and I give her what for. Right, mushroom. This is, I love this. Has this flown out? Yeah. I thought so. Over half the stock of this that we had today has been sold, not just put in baskets, checked out baskets. I love it. I love the weight. This one's slightly heavier, you see. And it's got gorgeous drapeability to it, this one. This one is 100% linen, remember. Oh, this is a more open weave than the red, the blue, and the beige. That, oh, look, it doesn't help my shirt in the back. Let me move my shirt. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Gorgeous feel to it there. Then I had some crepes, but they're not the Samba crepe. They are the triple crepes. Beautiful, 100% polyester. Heavy, nice heavy weight to them, but don't mix them. I wouldn't mix them with the Samba, because the Samba's got spandex in it. These haven't. That's the black. Seeing a little black dress. Gorgeous full skirt, little bodice, little sleeves. Okay, and then I've got it in ivory as well. And then oh no, I've got calico. I've got calico. That's the ivory there. Lovely. Got so many weddings to go to next year, I can't tell you. Well, oh, Helen, what's the matter? Oh, Helen, Hannah doesn't... The calico is still... Right, the bunting is sold out, but the calico's still in stock. You shouldn't have a problem with the calico. But if you have any problems at all, ring the call centre, 0800 112 4433. Free phone landline, and they'll help you. They're brilliant. They'll help you. This is the calico, which we had thousands of units of this morning. Thousands of units of it. No, nearly 3/4 have gone. Nearly 3/4 has gone, and it's not even the end of the live show. Oh, we thought, ordering thousands, we thought we'd be fine. Oh, most we've ever had. Well, we've sold more in the last 2 hours than I have done in any other individual show so far. Of any fabric as well. Right, brilliant. Now, let's get back to nautical but nice. So the bunting panel is sold out, yes? Yes. Did Harriet not come in? No, I'll have words with her. She doesn't care about me. No, she doesn't care about me. I'd like to do that bundle first. So I've got Riviera, I've got Christmas red, I've got bright red, I've got, I don't know if it's optical white or antique white, and I've got cornflower. It's optical white, there you go. Go with your gut, John. That's a nice bundle, isn't it? Nicely nautical, that one's called. Until you get half a metre of each. So you've got 4 spectrum solids and 1 linear. They're all by McCall, all machine washable, all 44 inches wide. Now, yes, I am talking about bag making, quilt making, or something for the beach. Or the back of your bunting, maybe. Nice. 17.99. You get 2.5 metres of fabric in there. Half a metre of each. Christmas red, bright red, optical white, Riviera linear, and you've got your cornflower blue. Red, white, blue. Can't go wrong. But that one's 2.5 metres, 5 different fabrics. I've got 2 other bundles with red, white, and blue in them. I've got this one, which is the 3 spectrum solids. They called this one bright. Oh, you've called it bright, okay. Oh, this is called nautical planes. Just get 3 in this one. 1.5 metres in total. Bright red, nautical blue, and optical white. Half a metre of each. You see, I'm thinking royal wedding. There's going to be a lot of street parties. Do we know, what is it, May the 18th? Something like that, May? Because I didn't get an invite, I don't know. A friend of mine's going, and I went, oh, can I come as your +1? He went, no, I'm making the table decorations. So I said, so in theory, you're not really going to the wedding. Well, I'll be there. I'll be there. He's not been invited. You won't be sitting down for your lunch, will you? £9.75. I bet they don't do that thing where you all put £5 in an envelope and whoever's name gets pulled out gets the table decoration. Right, and then last but not least, now I love this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this at home. These are, I mean, you're able to see the bundle, obviously, but the pattern on the fabric, right? This is our linen effect. There's no linen in it at all. It's 100% cotton, McCall fabric, 44 inches wide, machine washable, but it's got an effect to it, linen. That one's called linen effect, linen look. Yeah, because I don't doubt you'd want to quilt in linen, would you? Beautiful, aren't they? They've just got a texture. They've got a lovely, lovely texture. That middle one there is called linen. The colour is called linen. And then I've got navy blue and red. Okay? So, where should we go next? It's got loads of nautical-inspired fabrics now. Okay, now I wouldn't, these are 100% cotton, but I wouldn't mix these with your spectrum solids because they are a heavier weight. They are a heavier weight, these. I only launched these, there's some missing. I don't mean missing, I mean I had more when I did the launch, so maybe some sold out. Yeah, they're all nautical. Well, I think that one's called Helix. Anyway, let's just do it, let's just do it. So, are these in crystal order? Okay, I'm just doing them in the order they're here, that's fine. Oh, this is, last time we did this, look how gorgeous this is. This flew out. It's 100% cotton. I'd say it was 60 inches wide, but I'm going to measure it. Now, it is, I'm going to put it down, it is heavier. Oh, no, actually, no, this isn't what I was thinking about. This is 220. This is the same weight as your McCall solid. That's 220, isn't it, McCall solid? Okay, where's my tape measure going? There it is. It's not like your heavy, heavy, heavy one. 56 inches wide, this one is 56. They're gorgeous, aren't they? We love these. So you've got your beach huts with your boy, your umbrella. There's your boy. No, that's not a boy. That's a ring. The boy's one that's... the boy stays in the water bobbing up and down, so you take your boats round it, don't you? Sorry, got that wrong. So that's one. In fact, round my way, they're building lots of housing estates, and there's a pond. What they do is, because there's so much flooding, they build a big pond in front of all the houses, which is lovely. There's one in Ulster, right? But they have to have those on sticks around the pond, in case anyone falls in. Anyway, that's by the by. There's a love heart on one, a window on another, Breton stripes on another. Yeah, $5.99 for half a metre. That one's lovely, isn't it? 100% cotton. It's got like a canvas effect to it, but it's not too heavyweight, not too heavyweight at all. You could make it in bag making, definitely, or bunting making, or bean bag making, or windbreaker making. This is nice. This is an icon one with bunting. This one's called Blue Maritime. So you've got the yacht, the beach hut, the lighthouse. Don't know. Now, look at the one in the middle. Didn't Lucy do a block like that? The one in the middle, how the boat in the middle. We've done that boat block. because she made the washing line of the flags and it was slightly curved like that. I don't know if we made it into anything, did we? Anyway, it's nice. Look at that. How jolly is that? This is half a metre. This is what you get for your £5.99. Oh, here we go. Could I make individual bunting out of the icons? I would say so. Hang on. So there's in between, there's 2 inches between that one and 1.5 inch. Oh, it could be a bit wobbly bunting. Hang on. There you go. You can make bunting like that. And what would you lose the bunting off the bottom? It's a bit squat. I'd say it was a squat bunting. There you go. Yeah, I'd applicate each one because obviously the lighthouse is going to be a. I've done it in a D shape. £5.99. Gorgeous. Fishes next. Did you watch? What's that thing where they go to a restaurant and they've never met each other before? First Dates, right? They had this lovely jazz singer. She was from Hartlepool. And then the man she put him with was the man who sang the Bob the Builder song. And did Bob the Builder do Big Box, Little Box? Right, Big Box, Little Box. And like that. And he kept singing it at the dinner. And you're like, shut up. Anyway, funny, at the end, she said, oh, I think we'd be good friends. And they've become friends. They have become friends, but they didn't, nothing. And then there was this other couple, and she was just completely and utterly beautiful. It's what you'd call the personification of absolute beauty. And then they teamed her with the best-looking man ever. And I was like, if you two don't make it, if you two don't... Anyway, they're going out together. They're very happy together. Oh, could you ask Harriet if she's reordered this for me, please, Christopher? Thank you. Oh, sorry. Oh, the waves. I'd not noticed the waves. Oh, I'll do the book. After I finish these fabrics, I'll do the book. Promise, promise, promise. Oh, got to go out. I'll just do these 3 fabrics, then I'll do the book. Oh, get to move on. What time is it? It's only 11:25. No. Is it a nice day out? It's supposed to be this week. It's supposed to be scorching. I'm off all this week. So it's supposed to be scorching this week, isn't it? Oh, that's nice. Now, when I did this, little Paul said he wanted to make a blind for his bathroom out of this. I don't quite know how, because he hasn't got a window in there. Oh, the bunting. They're trying to order it, but they're not sure if they can get it. No, Harriet, that's not good enough. That's somebody else I've got to sort out when I go off in a minute. 30 minutes. Anyway. Fabulous. Then I've got the stripe, which I think is like deck chair fabric. These are exclusive fabrics, it says on the selvage. Look at the stripes. Oh, come on, Job. One job. Isn't that nice? That make lovely cushions. If you're going to go to the beach and you'll have a big cushion to sit on. You have to have a big car to take them all in, I suppose, wouldn't you? Or a windbreak. That'd be a nice windbreak, wouldn't it? It's nice. Why do you like windbreak so much? Yeah, see, I remember. And people don't take windbreaks to the beach anymore, do they? And then the last one in this range, then I promise I'll do the book. Helix. Weekend bag, Hannah's thinking. You know that posh one. Debbie Graubler von Crozier. They've called it blue helix, but you know what? The red pops out at me more on that one than the blue one does. £5.99 for half a metre. That's lovely, yeah. Or even if you're just going to make like a beach bag or a drawstring bag, that would look nice, wouldn't it? Right, book. Somebody wants to see the book before they go out. Tilda's Seaside Ideas by Tone Finnegar. Now, somebody made one of these whales and put it on our Facebook page this week, didn't they? It's a lovely book. $7.99. Lots of projects. There's the whales. Oh, there's still pictures. Hang on, we're not on projects yet. Ah, that's a sailboat applique. Dog's not available. Jellyfish. Oh! Oh, it's an ornament. Sea urchins, they're like the pin cushions. We've made those, haven't we? Then we've got the Fisher Girl. Now, who do I know that does a hair like that at the moment? So, somebody famous on the telly keeps putting their hair in a side bun like that, don't they? Sailing jacket, obviously for a dolly, not for you. At the beach. So many different ideas, aren't there? Flowers. Summer girls. Oh, now look, you see, if I saw a lollipop, I would want to eat it. Oh, it's got pins in it. No, don't eat that one. They're pincushion ice lollies, those. And then the patterns, all the patterns you need. Look. 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 All proper size. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I was going to say, where's the big whale? There's the big whale. Cutting off. Morning, John. Just need to tell you that the dressmaking programmes have blown my mind. Absolutely marvellous. Sewing Quarter is the best channel ever. Oh, Trouser, thank you, my love. Do what? I've finished the book now. Elaine, my pleasure. Have you bought one, Elaine? Oh, Angela and Bear wanted to see the book as well. Oh, how is he? Oh. It's a lovely book, isn't it? I'll put it back there. So then, shall I? Shall I? Shall I? Now, were these in a quilt? I recognise this fabric from somewhere. I like this fabric. I'm thinking pyjamas, personally. Seaside boats, fabric in navy. 100% cotton, 44 inches wide. Oh, actually, it's making my eyes... No, I wouldn't want pyjamas. It might make your eyes go a bit funny. $6.99. You could make, for a little boy... Oh, do you imagine dungarees? Little dungarees. Or if they're very small, a nappy changing bag thing, you know, where you put all your bits in. Or you could make a mat where you put the baby down. I like the fact you've got different coloured flags or pennants on the top, haven't you? You've got purple, green and yellow flags on the top of the boats. Can you see those? Oh, here we go. We're on the move in. Stand by. Oh, there you go. Look, little flags on the top, little pennants on the top. Well, no. I couldn't decide if it was pennants or tenants. $6.99. Gorgeous, isn't it? Okay, then I've got another fishy fabric. Now, these fishes, unlike the others that were all swimming in the same directions with waves, these are just going crazy, doing whatever they want to do. I'm thinking bathroom, but I'm not quite sure what in a bathroom. It's nice, some are stripy, some are tartan, some are skeletal, some have got scales, some are little, some are kissing. These are kissing fish. Oh, where are you? These are kissing fishes. Look at those there with the scales, with the skeletons, stripes, tartan. I don't think they're moving, are they? They're just floating. Gorgeous. I love the colours in it. It's very fresh. Moving on. All right, and then this next one, well, it's just wacky. It's just wacky. Hannah loves it. She was reading the words. Look. Ooh. Oh, I'm right hungry now. Ahoy! Journey, dreams. Explore. Where's that? I can't see. Oh, hang on, what's that washing line there? Adventure. That one's a bit, I can't see that one without my glasses, hang on. This one says Captain Courage. Your what? That says Monster Wave. Oh, sorry, do you want me to come to you? There's Monster Wave there. Ooh, here. That says Monster Wave. That's Captain Courage there. You're in... No, it says you're in Shoal, doesn't it? Oh. What's this one here? Call your own? No. Catch your... No. What does that say there? Charl. I don't understand what that was. Is that a cat on the end there then? No. That is a cat. Oh, yeah. Adventure. Where's the one you... Oh, explore. Where was the one you said earlier then, Hannah? I can't see that. Play. Where's nice? Oh, there, on the same one, yeah. It's one of those fabrics you're never going to get bored looking at, isn't it? You shouted a word out earlier, and I can't find it, though. It's nice. Love the colour of the background. Ship in a bottle. Oh, that's message in a bottle, isn't it? No, ship in a bottle. I always wonder how they do that, because they put it in, don't they? And then they pull all the strings, and all the masts go up like that. Don't half look pale today. Is it just this telly? Be quiet. Sarcasm doesn't suit you. No, John, you look lovely, she said. Louise, having a fab day off work. Oh, how lovely. Making a chocolate cake. Oh. Whilst watching Second Quarter and our gorgeous John. More bunting, please. Love, Lou. Oh, Lou, I'll have to go and have a word with Harriet. Lou, I'll give you Harriet's address and you can all not address, email address. You can all write to her and complain. She'd like that. It'll make her feel wanted. Right, I've still got 2 more ranges to do yet. I might do the compass one first, if that's all right. Now, this is a panel that came and went and I never even saw it. Natasha and Lucy had it. It was like a panel of the Atlas of the World. And then there was a gorgeous quilt that went with it. I've made beach bags with my beach hut fabric. Oh, thank you. I don't know who that is, though, just as customer. Thank you for that. It's lovely. I'll just show you which one she means. Beach huts. Come here. I've made a beach bag. Oh, yeah, that'd be lovely out of this. Look. Look. That's a slightly heavier weight. It feels like a canvas. But it's 100% cotton. Be beautiful to work with that as well, wouldn't it? Right, okay, so going back to this one. Everything sold out, everything sold out, everything sold out. We reordered some of it. This is what I think all I've got left now. It's called Compass fabric and it comes in 3 different colours. I shall show you the 3 different colours if you want to have a choice. So you've got this one, and this one. Charcoal, which will be this one. I'll waft that, shall I? Oh, no, isn't it funny? I thought it was the... Oh, it's Compass fabric in the Meridian range. I thought the range was called Compass. Now, it might just look like busy spots from a distance like that. But close to it's lovely. It's actually the, you know, north, south, east, west of a compass. Isn't it? Oh. That camera up there is going crazy. Now, that's my shirt. You want to look at the fabric? The camera's... there you go. Very detailed, isn't it? And it's a lovely, the fabric feels gorgeous. It's a Wyndham fabric, Meridian. Lovely, isn't it? You've got some Wyndham fabric, haven't you? Now, I'm a bit worried down the selvage because it's got 1, 2, 3 and 6, 4 and 5 seem to be missing colour-wise. Anyway, that's lovely. So that's the charcoal one. I've got to go and choose some more shirts. I saw this advert went out for pavers this week and I'm chatting away in it, right? And I went, oh, that's funny, I wore that shirt this week. And they went, that was filmed 3 years ago. And I was like, oh, okay. Which colour? And what's the other colour called? Okay, that's this one then. I think this might be my favourite, this one. Oh, is it? I don't know. They're all my favourites. This one's in cream. $6.99 for half a metre. Lovely, isn't it, that one? Oh, I was just going to show you the size of the pattern. And there you go. Okay, moving on. And then I've got one more in aqua. The aqua. What day? Oh, it's Monday. It's the Monday. None of them will be listening now. They'll be all been Monday meetings, won't they? That's pretty, isn't it? Does the new... Oh, no. Does the new lady start today? I like the aqua as well. The aqua's lovely, isn't it? Very classy. You see, you could either make a gorgeous skirt out of it, because once it's pleated together, or be the lining of the inside of a bag would be lovely, wouldn't it? $6.99 for half a metre, 100% cotton. Right, okay. So I've got one more range to show you, which is a lovely little fun range. I've got twirling dolphins. I've got 5 of these. Mo, no, she'll be in a hot tub now, won't she, looking at the dolphins? I hope you're all right, Mo, my love. Right, which shall I do? Yes, puffins on rocks in turquoise. So this is half a metre. This is what you get for your $5.99. Isn't it lovely? You got the puffins on the rocks, some ready to jump in, some just jumping out. Whales, some flying. Lewis and Irene, always gorgeous, isn't it, Lewis and Irene fabric? Detail, look at the detail. Oh, let me put it down, right? Look at the detailing on the rock. Even the rock has got texture drawn into it. Look, and the little waves. Is that a baby one, do you think? Well, no, but they're chatting and leaving him out, you see. They're dancing, I think. Oh, no, they're not. They're doing that thing where they go, ooh, my feathers are all wet. Ooh. They're not really in proportion, are they? Oh, no. I've only got 7 metres, this one left. The starfish on there. Oh, chart your own course. That'll make sense. Not on this, on the other fabric earlier. Oh, so Laura's listening then. Oh, no, Laura on there, Laura on there. I thought it was our Laura. I think it said chart your own course, John. Laura in Kent. Thank you, my love. I thought Laura in the office might be, you know, listening. Yeah, what about the other one that says, Captain Courage, you're in there? That one's not what it said, was it? That's what little Mike, no, not little Mike, Ginger Mike said. Little Mike, who's taken to answering everybody's messages on Facebook now. Little Mike, yeah, what did I say? Oh, sorry, I'm getting very confused. And little Paul, he's on Facebook fan page now if you want to contact him. Oh, now, somebody, Helen was at, we're doing a men's shirt soon. They want little Paul to model it. Right, now, the reason he's called Little Paul is I think he's about 5'4", isn't he? People were saying, look, on the picture, why did they call him Little Paul? And then it all got a little bit smutty, didn't it? And that's not through me. That's not through me. But he's short, that's all. If I talked to him, it'd be about there, I suppose. Isn't he about that tall? No, he's not much taller. No. You see, he looks long on that picture because he's got the dragon's tail on. This is Little Paul who we're talking about here. You can't see. Oh, what's that one? Oh, they all move. He shaved his head as well, look. That's Little Paul, the producer. He's rather revelling in his, in all the ladies finding him attractive. Not in real life, obviously. Oh, actually, if any of you want, he's looking for a girlfriend. This is pale blue. This is Puffin Rocks on pale blue. What? What's that? $5.99 for half a metre. Oh no, here we go. $5.99 for half a metre. Right, Diane says, morning, John. My sister and I love watching your shows. You cheer us up. Can you solve an argument for us? How old are you? Right, Diane, why don't you message in with how old you think I am and how old your sister thinks I am, and I'll tell you. It's a bit like Escape to the Country. You've got to guess the price. So Diane in Hampshire, message back in with what you think I am. I hate that. When people go, how old do you think I am? How old do you think I am? And you go, oh, and you think, let's err on caution. 42, 43, they go, I'm 27. You know, that it's a bit embarrassing. I go, I'm never very good at ages, or let me put my glasses on. Right, I've got twirling dolphins now. And I said, dolphins don't twirl, but Mo told me they do. While she sits in a hot tub, overlooking the ocean, wherever it is she is, that Forth of Firth, or wherever it is. Twirling dolphins on blue. Now, obviously, the theme of this is that the dolphins are blue and the background is blue. I've got them in, like, multicoloured coming up in a minute. They look happy, don't they? I tell you, in San Diego last year, we were lying on the beach and they used to come in and play in the shallow water and everything and be darting around. They go so fast. Okay, next one. I've got twirling dolphins. I think they called it multi. In multi, next. That one goes to her. Not in again now till Friday. I thought CL was in on Friday. It was in on Friday then. That's all right. I think I'm in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday though. Look. Oh, Lucy. I thought they kept Lucy and I apart. Oh, and Jules is back on Friday. Jules is the one that we did the coat with. $5.99. So I've got Lucy and Jules on. Oh, Paul. No, Paul. No, I don't like you. Which Paul is it? I wonder which Paul that is. Can we all play? I guess John is in his 40s, he's put. That might be it. That must be a Paul, I know. $5.99. $5.99. Oh, yeah, Teresa. Yeah, I'm 39 like you on telly, Teresa. On telly, I'm 39. But in real life, I'm a smidgen older. No. Hannah went, no. Oh, I've got ribbons, of course. Got Odie coat as well. That wasn't on my list. I knew that wasn't on my list. Don't know why he's brought that in. Shall we do Rick Rack first? Rick Rack, white, blue, red. You obviously get, I haven't got a full, you get the full, yours doesn't come opened. You get 25 metres on yours. These are ones the designers have used. So which ones are you going to first? Royal blue, royal blue. Polyester, Rick Rack, 14 millimetres, 25 metres of it, £12.99. Lovely, isn't it? Gorgeous colour, that one as well. Okay, that's the blue, red. Oh, they're all singing songs up now. Sea shanties upstairs. It is a dark red, like a crimson red, this one. Oh, actually, though, let's just put it with that. Oh, it's almost identical to the bright red. £12.99 for 25 metres. Yours obviously will be a full rack, because yours, imagine if you bought it and this turned up at your house. You'd be like, not my fault, I don't pack the bags. Yet. White, 25 millimetres. No, 25 metres by 14 millimetres. £12.99. Deborah in Cambridgeshire says, oh no. She says, having sat my O-levels in 1976, I know. And as a lady doesn't divulge her age, your secret is safe with me. Oh, see, I give away too many secrets, don't I? I did my O-levels when I was naught. I would say, oh, Sandra. I love you, Sandra. I would say you're 43, enjoying the show. Sandra, do you want me to get you a pair of these from Specsavers? Oh, here we go. Diane's answers come back now. I think you're in your early 50s. My sister thinks you're older. We hate your sister, Diane. She doesn't name her sister, does she? I'm 39 in television years. I can't even work it out in cat years. In cat years, I think about 400. I'll be 58 in June. Ah! When you say it out loud, it's so frightening, isn't it? Do you know what? I'll tell you when it started getting frightening is when I started getting all these letters through the post saying retirement homes or sheltered housing. You come and I'm like, I'm too old. I'm too young for this. I'm too young for this. And it's like from 55, isn't it? And now I get those catalogues where you put both feet in a zip-up boot, or those slankets, or the pants if you can't make it to the toilet quick enough, and all that sort of stuff. Anyway. Double-faced satin ribbon in red. Now, this one, for some reason, I've got a closed one and an open one. This is what you'll get. Red, double-faced satin ribbon, 15 millimetres wide. You get 20 metres of it for £7.99. Nice. OK, which one's next? Just blue or navy blue? Oh, navy blue, OK. I've only got this one closed anyway. That's this one. Again, 20 metres, 15 millimetres wide in the navy blue. £7.99. It's double face, remember, so both sides are satinised. Next one is light blue. I'd say it was a mid blue, this one. It's a nice colour, this one, look. £7.99 again, double face. Oh, they called it dark royal. Oh, OK. £7.99. OK, and then, oh, I've got two more, What? OK, so this one is the 15 millimetre again. In bridal white, this one's called. I always call it wedding white, bridal white. It's cream, it's just off white. Oh, it's more of a cream, this one. That one always looks nice with flowers, I think. Oh, yeah, look. Nice. Now, the only one I've got left now is cotton tape. This is natural. I was looking for some of this the other day, actually. We need to order this in half the width as well. Brilliant for bunting. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. How many of these have we got in stock? Brilliant for bunting. 14 millimetres wide, 20 metres. Not shiny. I wanted to show you without the plastic on. It's a cotton twill tape. Okay? That's me done then, is it? Can I go home now? Oh, got to go over then to do the machine. How long? Excuse me while I just tuck myself in. Got a special deal today on a sewing machine. Has Beck's gone on her holidays? Oh, so no voiceovers for me today then, that's good. Right, this machine is fantastic. It's the Elna 680. It does so many things. It's just an incredible machine. Lots and lots of our experts use it. Lucy's bought one, Joe's bought one. It's just fantastic. Now, you could buy this any day you like from us for £999. Comes with the Elna guarantee and everything like that. But today, we're throwing in a free gift worth £52.98 with it. You get this. Now, obviously, you don't get the accessories. This is a brilliant bag. If you've never seen this before, look at this, right? It's got pockets galore, which you can fit all your rulers or anything in. Obviously, you don't get any of the rulers. But look. It's just fantastic. Look at this. All sorts of shapes and sizes you can fit in there. And then this one at the top here is the full length of the bag. Look, just brilliant. Then you've got your mesh. You've got your mesh zip-up pocket at the bottom here. You can put your rotary cutters and your scissors in. Then we've got this middle-sized one here, which has got another ruler in, or you could fit your rotating cutting mat in there. And last but not least, you obviously don't get any of that in it, but it's the most fantastic. If you haven't got anywhere to store stuff, put all your creative grids in here, put it under the bed, not going to get dusty or anything, or if you go to classes or anything like that. But look how brilliant it folds up. This is all free. This comes free if you buy that sewing machine today. Not only that, you also get this as well. This clip-on light. Now, it's charged up here by a USB stick. It's got 3 different brightnesses, LED, so it's not going to get hot. This is what you get with it. So it hasn't got a plug on it. It's got one of these that you have to put in. Is that a USB socket? So you get this and you get this. That just looks like my old coat now rolled up like that. Then that completely for free, £52.98 worth of gifts for this fantastic, fantastic, fantastic sewing machine. Alphabet, you got all they got. You get the extension table, very important. You get the cover, you get the knee lift, you get so many. 170 built-in stitches, 91 needle places. You've got the exclusive, what's that thing called where you put the plug in there and you sew a circle? It's got a special name, isn't it? You put a pin in there, you can sew a perfect circle. It's just brilliant. Old computerised everything, £999. It is a fan. When I use this to make the toiles for the show, when I did my dressmaking show, it makes it life so much easier. It's got a 1/4-inch foot. Yeah, Joe got hers because well, Joe and Lucy, both Joe and Lucy were using theirs here, and they went home. They just have to have them. Joe even neglected her family for a whole weekend while she played with hers. Do you remember? Right. Loads of buttonholes. Louise has messaged in. Oh, she's 50 in November, but she's still only 4'10". Barbara Windsor's 4'10". Do you have a size 2 shoes? Anyway, it's a menu for tomorrow. I'm not in now till Friday. Oh, it's Becky Blease tomorrow. Oh, how lovely. Miss It, Miss Out at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, sightseeing backpack. Ooh, with Jennifer Taylor. 10 o'clock, oh, she's got new fabrics as well. Flourish. And then at 11 o'clock, Jennifer Taylor is doing an overlay T-shirt. We never used to sell overlay, did we? That's like gold-plated, isn't it? Have I done then? I've got 1 minute. What should we talk about for a minute? Oh, loads of people saying about my age. They're all guessing too old. Oh, Trouser in Greater London says, please mention to Paul I'm single. How old are you, Trouser? The thing is, Trouser, you can't move in with him. He's only got, well, not that he's got a 1-bedroom flat, but he won't let you stay all week. He'll have to make you go home for 2 nights a week because he likes his own space. But he does like to cook Sunday lunch. And he's very good at cooking. And he loves popping around to Hannah's because they live in the same village. But he lives in the rough end of the village. That's it, really. I'll pass that on. I'll pass that on to him, definitely. Are you on Facebook friends page? You can look you up, can't you, on there? Send him a friendship thing. Anyway, I've got to go. Got a meeting with CO because I'm working with her on Saturday. I know, important meeting. And then I'm starving, hungry. Thanks ever so much for your company today. I've loved it, as per usual. I came in a bit of a grumpy old mood, but I'm in a good mood now. Thanks ever so much. Bye.
On Wednesday, the 18th of April, tune in when we're joined by Jane Alcock. Jane will be showing us how to make a Paris star quilt designed by Lynn Goldsworthy and first seen on the cover of today's Quilter magazine. This gorgeous quilt will be the star of any room with its bold star design made in tonal shades of blue, midnight blues and pinks. Jane will be here to give us her expert quilting tips to make your own Paris star quilt a breeze. We've got everything you need to make your own Paris star quilt so you can sit back and relax with Jane's tutorials. So join us on Wednesday the 18th of April at 8 AM only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.